AVC Sports presents high school football. This game is brought to you by Doan Ford, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, WB Green, West 40 Auto Sales, Southeastern Med, Abels, Valentine Insurance, AMG Vanadium, TK Auto, White Pillars Christmas House, Wayne Garage Door, Galaxy Pizza, JNS Tree Services, Stoney's RVs, 209 Tire, Guernsey County Children's Services, Brunner Land Company, and Dirtworks.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Eugene Capers Field here on the campus of Meadowbrook High School. Tonight, the John Glenn Muskies have made the short trip to Byesville to do battle with the Meadowbrook Colts. My name is Mike Snively, and I'll be describing the action alongside my good buddy Dave Hilliard here tonight. We are live on 97.7 FM WILE, and we're also live streaming tonight's action on YRPtv YouTube and YRPtv Facebook. Both teams enter tonight's game with a 1-4 record. So Dave, I know you've been studying this thing and the ins and outs of this thing all week. This game, what do you think?
I think two teams have really been struggling here, both 1-4, looking for that second win on the season. John Glenn started off, they've played some really good teams to start off the season, and that's been part of their problem, as well as, once again, the injuries have just kind of started to pile up for John Glenn. That's just been a tough, just the last two seasons, Mike, it's really been tough on them injury-wise. Meadowbrook, not so much injuries, although they do have a couple of kids out, but just youth. Their youth has just really, they're playing a lot of young kids. And when you're playing against some teams that have a lot of seniors running around out there, it's a physical mismatch. The game is a lot faster than those kids are used to. And two teams that have struggled, but, you know, on paper, this seems like a really evenly matched game the way things have shook out here.
Absolutely, and we were talking on the way over too. You know, this will only be the 8th game that these teams have played. They've played one playoff game, and it started in, I believe, 2017, the series. Now, you could go all the way back to
2016.
Okay, 2016. Yeah. You can go back to the 50s when New Concord High School played Byesville High School, but there's some New Concord beat Byesville, looks like 45-0 in what year?
1958.
1958. Do you remember that game? Did you watch that game?
I didn't watch that one. No, I wasn't privy to that one. It wasn't on the internet.
So New Concord after some research and outstanding research by Dave, did find that New Concord and Byesville played from 56, 57, and 58, where New Concord won all 3 contests. But this thing goes back to 2016. These schools are roughly 12, 15 miles apart at the most. They've been in different leagues forever. John Glenn's been in the MVL, and Meadowbrook's been bouncing around leagues for a couple times. They was in the old PVC and then the ECOL, recently joined the MVL. It's hard to believe, though, this is only going to be the 8th matchup tonight.
Well, me being the new guy relatively, I mean, I've moved up in this area 2019, and I just thought that they were old rivals. You know, they've been playing each other forever, and then I start doing my research here, and they've only played 7 times. And I will mention tonight's pregame is brought to you by Mass Tires. Looking for new tires for your ride? Mass Tires in Pleasant City should be your first stop, and we appreciate them being the sponsor of our pregame here tonight. If for some reason you were looking for another game and you didn't want to listen to Mike and I, you've got
young, but Meadowbrook's real young.
Yes, and injuries have pressed a lot of those young kids up there for John Glenn.
Winland sends Thompson in motion. Bubble screen to the backside, nothing going on. Pass was intended for Kobe Slade. Ball goes through his hand, so that's going to bring up a punting situation for the Little Muskies.
And that was a pass Winland was very successful with last week. Got a lot of completions on, and they had some success moving the football, but he just fired that one a little too high, and he's 0 for 2 right off the blocks.
A little bit too much mustard on that hot dog. So back to punt here will be Walker. Walker steps up just a little bit. Slides to his right, gets a lot of height, but not very much length. It's got backward spin, and it takes a dead even neutral roll. So the Colts are going to start off with great field position right around midfield.
That's a surprise because the games that I've covered with John Glenn, he's used that rugby-style kick, and he kicks the low liner, and that one was like a sand wedge. He hit that one straight up.
Hit that 9-iron like you hit at the club today.
Yeah.
Okay, so Colts come out. Justice Huey at quarterback. He's going to have 2 running backs, Bop and Rivera. Bop behind, sidecar Rivera. He's going to send Evan Dyer in motion. Handoff before we got a flag on the play.
And that's going to be a legal motion. That guy, he was headed towards the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped.
Now, unless you're playing arena football or even Canadian football, that's legal. But that's not legal. You can't be heading toward the line of scrimmage as the motion man was there, Evan Dyer. And that's a timing play, Dave.
Yes, it is.
You got to time that up to where he's not going forward when the ball's snapped.
It's going to cost them 5 here, bring up a 1st and 15, and not the down and distance you want to start. They declined it.
Yeah, they declined it, which I've always thought, why not? Give them 1 less down. That's probably not a bad idea. So Colts will have it. First play declined with the procedure call.
Was it an incomplete pass?
No.
Just escaped me completely.
No, it was Bop on the run.
Okay.
So Huey in the pistol. Hands to Bop. Bop gets to the outside a little bit, and he is wrapped up really quickly there by number 3, Cameron Barnhouse. Barnhouse, the 5'11", 185-pound junior, did a really good job of containing the outside there.
Nice penetration there. They got defensive penetration, and that just kicked Bop out a little bit farther than he wanted to go, and he couldn't get the corner turn. So another tough down and distance here for the Meadowbrook offense.
Blandon Baker out tonight, the really good nose tackle for the Little Muskies. He will not be seeing any action tonight. Huey fakes the handoff, and and that's a big hit there, but number 14 on the catch, Dalen Rivera. But coming up on the play, I believe, was Barnhouse again. So Barnhouse, 2 big defensive plays, and that completion actually lost a yard. So it's going to bring up 4th and 11. Meadowbrook brings on the punt unit. So 3 plays, a negative. So number 56.
A player to be named later.
Player to be named later, absolutely
we shall
correct.
Call him tonight.
So John Glenn's going to start on their own 26-yard line.
We'll see if they try to establish the running game this time.
And one thing we don't see a whole lot of anymore in high school football is under center. Everything's out of the shotgun. So Gilcher's going to go to the left. Gilcher gets a little bit of room, probably actually the biggest play of the game so far. Gilcher goes to the left through that 2-hole and picks up about 4, so that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
And that's what John Glenn would like to accomplish on first down. Get that 4 or 5 yard run, get him in a better down and distance situation.
Same formation, twins up to the top. 1 receiver down here at the bottom, which is Kobe Slade. Gilcher, the sidecar. Sends Larrick in the motion. Fakes the handoff, hits Walker out here and gets him some space, but a very good tackle out there by Nick Norman. Nick Norman, a 2-way standout as a receiver / Wildcat quarterback and corner this year, only a sophomore as well, son of head coach Steve Norman. So that's going to bring up 3rd and about a long 2. Winland calls out the signals, sends Larrick in motion again. Hands off on the stretch play to Gilcher. Gilcher's got a little bit of room this time. He picks up about 8, and he's going to have the first down easily. That's going to move the ball to the 40-yard line of the Little Muskies.
That's his 3rd carry, and he's got 13 yards, and he's already found more room than he did all last week against Sheridan with a really stout run defense.
And that's bread and butter play right there, the stretch play out of the shotgun formation for the Little Muskies. Larrick once again in motion, creates a trips. Pass, goes deep, going up to Walker again on this side. Walker goes up, makes the catch. A great catch with good coverage there.
Wow, that was really good coverage and a better catch.
Exactly. There's not much you can do there, Dave, but Walker goes up and makes a fantastic catch under very good coverage.
Got about 38 yards on that one.
And you got to give credit to Winland, too. That's about the only place he could have put it. So first down, that's going to put the ball at the 22-yard line of the Colts. Almost in the red zone here for the John Glenn Little Muskies. Gilcher goes to the right of Winland. Winland fakes, keeps it this time. He's got a little bit of space. He's got some room. He's down inside the 5, and there's going to be looks like a face mask, inadvertent face mask. And I think Winland was pulled out of bounds right about the 5-yard line.
Yeah, he was.
I saw a flag come flying. I saw his head kind of.
It is a face mask.
And it's only going to be half the distance
half
from
the
there
distance,
anyway.
so
So probably moved up to the 2.5-yard line. So the Little Muskies will get the ball place it right outside the 2. Winland this time appears to be going, I thought he was going under center. Gilcher behind Winland this time. Hand to Gilcher. Gilcher's got some room, and he is in. Official signs the touchdown sign. He's in. 6-0 Little Muskies. So a 2-yard run for Lincoln Gilcher puts the game 6-0. John Glenn over Meadowbrook, pending the extra point. Nice little crowd here tonight at Eugene Capers Field. That's going to bring in number 18, Evan Rector.
Evan Rector. He's
sophomore.
Been a very good kicker here for John Glenn so far this season.
Right footer. Snap is back, snap is good. Rector's kick is up, and it's good. So with 7:31 here in the first quarter from Meadowbrook, John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 7-0. We'll be right back after this.
Looking to buy land? Do you want 5 acres or more, say up to 50 acres? Brunner Land Company off I-77 Vocational Road, Byesville has land for sale. Buy acreage in Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, and Indiana. Brunner Land Company has 500 tracts of land to choose from and creative financing for buyers. When it's land you want to buy, it's Brunner Land Company you should call. Brunner Land Company, Byesville, off I-77. Give them a call at 685-3064 or go to brunnerland.com.
The car is making a strange noise, then the worry starts. Who can we trust to fix the vehicle that won't cost an arm and a leg? TK Auto Service is the answer. They're the area's garage that treats customers fair and repairs what needs repaired. No upsells to drive the cost up. TK Auto Service, east of New Concord and minutes from Cambridge on Route 40.
Hey, this is Ted with TK Auto Service. Give us a call at 826-4916. That's 826-4916. Make us your repair service for all your vehicle care.
Back here live on 97.7 and YRPtv, where the John Glenn Muskies lead the Meadowbrook Colts 7-0. My name is Mike Snively, joined by Dave Hilliard. Evan Rector, who just banged in the extra point, set to kick off to the Colts.
Valentine Insurance kickoff, our second one of the ball game.
Cooper McManaway takes it at the 10, comes to his right, and he's going to be taken down by a group of Muskies there, Little Muskies at that, and led by number 3, Cameron Barnhouse. He's been a very active on the tackling end tonight, that Cameron Barnhouse, the 5'11", 185-pound junior. So the Colts are going to start off their second drive at their own 27-yard line. Now, we have seen Nick Norman come in and run the Wildcat and do it effectively against Riverview and a couple other teams, and I think that's what they're going to do here. Norman takes the ball, and he goes right up the middle, and there's quite a few people there in line waiting on him. He's going to pick up about 2, and that he was brought down. It looked like Connor Sensabaugh was in there, along with number 75, Caden Stallard, just to name a few. Same formation, Wildcat. Actually, they go trips to the left. And I think Norman's hand clap got the Little Muskies 2 jumps, so that's probably going to be an offsides, and it is on the Little Muskies. So that's going to make it second and about 4.
And that's one thing I noticed Meadowbrook has been really good at. They go on the clap just like John Glenn, and they lull you to sleep because they just keep doing it, and then all of a sudden they do the fake clap, and there you are jumping offside.
And I would be jumping myself. This time we got a double reverse here, and it looked like it was going to try to be a pass, and it ended up with Evan Dyer. Evan looked like he was going to try to throw the ball deep, but he never had the time, so that could be possibly a loss on the play of a couple yards. So that's going to bring up 3rd and about 7.
Yeah, that was a loss of about 3 yards there.
So John Glenn had that thing well defended.
Didn't fool anybody that time, did they? And that's one of those,
Of note, Mitch Bendel, the defense coordinator of John Glenn, who was a former head coach here at Meadowbrook, teaches at Meadowbrook Middle School. So brings up 3rd down and 7. This time, Huey back in, tries to hit Blankenship across the middle, pass just a little ahead of him, incomplete, so that's going to bring up 4th down and 7 for the Colts. Colts send in their punting unit. Dave, Wednesday night, it was pushing 90 degrees. I jumped in the pool, felt great. And today, not so much.
This is football weather.
This is definitely football weather. So Clendenning's going to go back to punt. 4th and 7, a little high snap. Takes care of it, no rush. Fair catch signaled there by Walker. Walker's going to fair catch it right around the Little Muskies 40-yard line.
Yeah, it's a little bit a switch in the weather here. I mean, it was 40. All right, I told you I played golf today.
Yep. Great time to play golf, too, in the fall.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
The superintendent at Zanesville Country Club told me they had some frost in a couple of places on the golf course this morning, and I thought, man, this is awful early to be talking about frost.
It is. I saw some frost on the rooftops this morning, so it must have got a little chilly, and I expect the same tonight. Got me a coat and a toboggan just in case. So 1st and 10, John Glenn at their own 40. Winland with Gilcher behind him. Gilcher takes a handoff on a little stretch play to the right. He picks up about 7. So that John Glenn right side of that line getting a little bit of push on that young defense of the Colts. So we'll call it 2nd and a long 3.
Gilcher now with 23 yards, and that about equals his output from last week against Sheridan.
Gilcher only a sophomore. Saw a substantial amount of time as a freshman at running back last year. Winland claps, takes the ball, fakes it. This time he keeps it. He's going to have the 1st down. He's dancing a little bit. He picks up about 8 yards, 8 more yards on that play. So that's going to send the Little Muskies into the Colt territory. 1st and 10. That's a WB Green Insurance Company 1st down.
There, you got that one in there that time.
I got it in there.
All right.
I got it in there. We are outside in the elements, so we're going to be losing some lighting. So Dave and I will be squinting tonight looking at our playlists here.
You'd think they'd rig up a light just for us right here.
I thought about bringing one up, but I would have to use my cell phone flashlight. Winland this time. Quick pass out to Walker. Nice block on the outside there by Thompson. And another 7 or 8 yard gain there on that completion to Nathan Walker. But once again, I think the main reason that was such a successful play was Gates Thompson, number 13, for the Little Muskies, locked up and did a good job blocking on the Colts corner, Nick Norman.
That's Winland's 3rd completion in a row. He's now 3 for 5. All 3 completions to Walker, who has all 48 yards in receiving for John Glenn.
So twins to the left, one receiver to the right. Lyric motions to the left, handoff to the left stretch for this time it's Ryder Rock. Ryder Rock, number 6, little scuttlebutt. He might go to the house, and he does. And that thing is a 39-yard touchdown run for Ryder Rock. Ryder Rock, 5'4", 140-pound, another sophomore, takes the play 39 yards to the house. That puts John Glenn up 13-0 pending the extra point.
Boy, he found a little opening, and he turned on the jets, and the next thing you know, he was in the end zone, and he's making the most of his opportunity. He didn't carry the ball last week, and
I remember
first carry, he's running off to the races.
Making the most of his opportunity. Rector on for the extra point. Snap is back, kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 4:40 left in the first quarter here in Byesville, John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-0. We'll be right back after this.
They were there for us, and this Veterans Day we're giving back. This is Russ Abels from Abels Heating, Cooling, and Electric. We've partnered with Amana to give new furnaces to 2 local heroes in need. Whether they're active duty, a veteran, or a surviving spouse, if you know someone who could use help staying warm this winter, tell us. See the details and make your nomination by October 21st at heatforourheroes.com and help Abel serve those who served us.
Back here in Byesville, Meadowbrook High School, John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-0 with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first quarter. I'm Mike Snively, joined by Dave Hilliard. And Dave, Ryder Rock, you know, he just had a 39-yard touchdown run. I remember Ryder being quick. I've never seen that speed from him, and that was pretty impressive.
He got through the hole, just shot right through there, and the next thing you know, he's in the defensive backfield, and he just kept the feet moving and found the end zone. Nice run for him, a 39-yarder to get his, could be one of his first touchdowns of the year here for John Glenn.
Rector to kick off, kicks it deep to Cooper McManaway. McManaway at the 10 again. McManaway's got a little bit more room this time, and he's got a lot more room this time. And a nice saving tackle there by number 84, Dylan Fortney. If Fortney doesn't make that tackle, who knows what would have happened. Cooper McManaway, just a freshman, may have found his way to the end zone on that one. So an excellent return there by number 12, Cooper McManaway. Puts the Colts in good position, sets them up at their own 38-yard line.
On the JNS Tree Services scoreboard update, with 4:40 to go in the first quarter, Tri-Valley leads Morgan 7-0.
And we've heard, you know, Tri-Valley's always solid, but we've heard some great things about Morgan this year too. So Huey keeps it, does not hand it to Bob. Huey doesn't keep it a whole lot, so that thing was kind of wide open. So he got a nice substantial gain there, picked up about 7, pushing 8 yards. So a good read by keeping that ball there by Justice Huey. Picks up, we'll call it 7.5. but write that down, 7.5.
I'm giving him 8. I'm giving him 8 on that.
All right.
I gave him 8.
Very nice of you.
Nice ball fake there. And everyone from John Glenn went to the right, and Huey was going the other way.
So this time McManaway is going to be the fullback out of the pistol formation. Little confusion here by the Colts. Dyer now splits out to the left, part of the Twins package
this is
out
Norman
there.
again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Norman. Good eyes. Norman's going to be in the... Norman keeps it this time. He thought he was going to pitch it, and nothing's doing there. Nothing doing whatsoever. Number 4, Cash Smith, was snuffed that thing out like a hound dog, and there was nothing going on there. So it's going to be about, with forward progress, it looked worse, but without forward progress, I should say, it looked worse, but only loss of about maybe 2 or 3. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 6.
Boy, you talk about somebody that needs a first down and to get the chains moving here and get some momentum. Meadowbrook needs to convert here so they can keep this football and not give it back to John Glenn, who suddenly has some offensive momentum.
Right. Colts struggled this year converting once they sometimes get the drives going. So here's this time Huey's going to drop back, rolls to his right, throws, has a wide open receiver, Evan Dyer. He's going to pick up the first down. So nice little pickup of about 14 there. Huey to Evan Dyer, and that'll be the Colts' first down. That'll be a WB Green Insurance Company first down.
Their first one of the ball game here with 2:46 to go in the first quarter.
And you're right, Dave. They absolutely needed that, especially young teams. They need all the confidence they can get.
Exactly. They needed to get a first down there.
Trips to the left, single receiver up top. Hands off to Bob this time. Bob's got a little bit of room. And we're going to have a flag. So this is either in the area of holding, or I could have possibly seen a face mask there. Luckily, the action happened right here. I'm going to go with...
They're pointing against John Glenn.
They got the face mask. Yeah, they got the face mask on John Glenn. So that's going to give another first down, another WB Green Insurance first down for the Colts. Now the Colts are in business. That's going to bring the ball all the way down after the face mask penalty and 6-yard run, 5-6-yard run. That's going to bring everything down to the 24-yard line of the Little Muskies.
Just what the doctor ordered for Meadowbrook. They needed a little consistency here.
Huey hands off to Bop. Bop just goes straight to the sideline. He may have picked up a yard. We're going to check it out here. Nah, he got a couple. So Bop picks up about 3. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7. And these are the areas, Dave, watching Meadowbrook a lot this year. They get down here inside close to the red zone, and it's either been penalties or just a silly mistake where somebody ran the wrong route or blocked the wrong guy. And it's just been struggle bus this year in this territory for the Colts. Little run pass option. They're going to hit Nick Norman. Nick Norman's going to go in, but we got a flag We've got to see what the penalty is. And the only thing I can see is lineman downfield.
Exactly. I think it's going to be a line, and that's what the line judge is saying there. It's a legal downfield. A lineman thought it was going to be the run and the run-pass option and got past that line of scrimmage, so that one's going to come back.
And that's not the first time that's happened to Meadowbrook. They do a good job reading it, but the linemen do not really know if it's going to be a run-pass option, and they take off downfield thinking it's going to be a run, trying to block downfield, and that's going to negate a score and touchdown there for the Colts. And we just talked about that with Meadowbrook. They get in these areas, they make some plays, but then they make some mistakes with it, and now they're going to be 2nd and 13 instead of a touchdown. So the Colts line her up, twins trips to the left. Now it looks like illegal snap on the Colts. That's going to move it back 5 more yards. And that's going to bring up about 2nd and 18 now for the Meadowbrook Colts. 2:06.
That's going to bring up a timeout here. Meadowbrook going to call a timeout because Coach Norman doesn't like how that's progressed in the last couple of plays.
And I tell you what, we're going to take it with him. We'll be right back after these messages.
What is a cooperative? A cooperative like Guernsey Muskingum Electric is your local rural electric provider. The owners are not investors on Wall Street. They are actual members using the electricity. Decisions are made by local directors who know, listen, and care about their neighbors. A cooperative is not driven by profit or stock prices. Instead, they are driven by providing safe, reliable electricity at a reasonable price. That's the cooperative difference. Guernsey Muskingum Electric, your touchstone energy cooperative.
Welcome back to Meadowbrook High School. John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-0 here with 2:06 just in the first quarter here. I'm Mike Snively, joined by Dave Hilliard. We just saw Meadowbrook score a touchdown and it got negated due to an illegal man downfield. The very next play, illegals procedure. So Meadowbrook goes from getting within a score of the Little Muskies to now 2nd and 18 after 2 consecutive penalties.
And that's just one that drives the coaches crazy, and I'm sure that's why you call it timeout.
Exactly. Regroup.
You got to regroup and get everybody focused.
So trips to the left, single receiver, Blankenship to the right. Norman this time is in this Wildcat, and I tell you what, Walker came in.
That was Walker, Nathan Walker.
Nathan Walker came in, and the ball was going to be handed off, I believe, to Sam Bopp, and Bopp's not moving. So we're going to take a break here, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Looking for new tires for your ride? Mass Tires in Pleasant City should be your first stop. Mass Tires is now under new management and still committed to continuing high-quality customer service and offering competitive prices on top-of-the-line inventory, including Bridgestone, Cooper, Mastercraft, and so much more. Stop in at 519 Main Street in Pleasant City to see Chuck and Brandy. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m., and Saturdays, 8 a.m. until 2 p.m., or call 740-685-1199. Mass Tires, the best place to retire.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio. Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it is for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company to offer liability coverage to package with their patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today at 638-3604 and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
Welcome back to Meadowbrook High School. John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-0. A little scary scene out playing in front of our eyes right now. Nick Norman going in the Wildcat formation, goes to hand off to Sam Bopp. I believe it was Nathan Walker busts through the line, tackles Bopp. Bopp is up, and that's good news because Walker put a pretty good lick on Sam Bopp. Bopp is up, and that's good. He hadn't moved there for a second, but now he is up on his feet. Coach Norman and trainer Mike Marston checking him out. He's walking off on his own power, so that's good news for the Colts right there. Scary moment, but I'm glad Sam Bopp is up and walking by himself off the field. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and about 16 or 17 for the Colts. Colts will bring trips down to the right, Blankenship up top to the left. And looks like we're going to have Huey in at quarterback this time. Huey drops back, straight drop, feels a lot of heat, and he's going to have plenty of room. He's going to pick up the first down here, and he's going to get all the way down inside the 10-yard line. Huey did a fantastic job of stepping up in the pocket, and there was nobody home. John Glenn in a man-to-man defense, and they're gone.
Well, Walker had a shot at him, and Walker just didn't break down, and Huey made one move on him, and he got around him easily, picked up about 20 yards there to get that big first down, and that's something that Meadowbrook desperately needed. Now they can score and get back in this thing.
Huge play there by Justice Huey with his feet, not his arm this time. This time Norman's back in as in the Wildcat. First and goal from the 9. Norman takes it up the middle, nothing going on there. Maybe a yard, maybe not. It looked like 74 for John Glenn on the tackle. Nick Zanders, the 6'2", 215-pound junior, one of the first ones in there. Also Clay Mathers in there.
I just wonder how long they're going to stick with that Wildcat formation, because that's Norman's 4th carry, and he has a total of -2 yards.
And it was successful last week up Riverview. Once again, even though they're banged up, the Little Muskies, they feel like their line on the defensive end and offensive end is their strength. They feel like they got some depth there.
And
I think John Glenn jumped again. So that's the second time John Glenn will be called for offsides. That's going to move it a little bit closer for the Colts.
Sometimes we like to be a little bit critical of the guys in stripes, but I really appreciate with the pace that these officials, I mean,
right.
That penalty flag's on, and the white hat, he's already making the signal for it, and they're marking it off. I mean, they're together tonight. This is a group of guys that, you know, obviously works together a lot, and they're used to each other, and they're doing a nice job.
Yes, they are. 44 seconds and counting. Meadowbrook second and goal at the 5-yard line. Trying to score and make us a one-score game. Huey hands off this time to Dalen Rivera. Dalen Rivera tries to get to the outside. He's going to get in. Touchdown, Meadowbrook. Dalen Rivera with a 5-yard touchdown run. That's going to make the score John Glenn 14, Meadowbrook 6. And that's going to bring in Garrett Milam in to kick the extra point. With 29.2 seconds here in the first quarter. Milam, the left footer, very accurate. Snap is back, kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 29 seconds left here in the first quarter, John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-7. We'll be back right after this.
Whether you are experiencing pain in your knee, tingling in your fingers, or a sore back, Superior Med Orthopedics is here for you. Their patients' health and safety is their top priority, and they currently offer telehealth visits for your initial appointment. Take comfort in knowing when you come to their facility, they're following all protocols to ensure you remain safe. Find out all their team offers by visiting seormc.org today to learn more.
We're back here live at Eugene Capers Field in Byesville on the campus of Meadowbrook High School. Meadowbrook just punches in a 5-yard run there by Dalen Rivera to make this a 14-7 score. Now John Glenn in favor of the Colts.
Speaking of scores, JNS Tree Services scoreboard update. Martins Ferry leads Cambridge 6-3 at the end of the first quarter. And that Tri-Valley Morgan game was 7-0 still Tri-Valley at the end of the first quarter.
Martins Ferry scores kind of surprises me just a little bit, them leading Cambridge, but it's still early. So Milam's going to go back. He's going to tee it up. Has a holder. Wind's not blowing. You don't see that too often, do you, Dave? He's going to have a holder.
Not on the kickoff, but the wind's not blowing.
The wind's not blowing, so you just wonder, maybe that helps him pooch kick like he did this one. Going to be fielded in a really good coverage again that time. It was fielded that time by number 2, Christopher Wise. Wise gets to about the 25-yard line. Wise just a sophomore, 5'6", 130. So 24 seconds left here in this first quarter. Been a long first quarter.
Yes, it has. It's last week. Both teams were running the football, and the clock ran. Right. I think it was like over in 15 minutes, and now this one's kind of drug out a little bit here.
So John Glenn's offense doesn't seem like they've been on the field in a while. They come out with twins to the left, Twins to the right. Winland, the quarterback. Gilcher behind him. Hand off to Gilcher. Gilcher's got some room. He picks up a good 5-6 yard gain there for the Little Muskies, and that's probably going to be the last play of the first quarter. Under 10 seconds, and they're just going to let it tick down. Bring up 2nd and 4. So after 1 quarter of play here in Byesville, the John Glenn Little Muskies lead the Meadowbrook Colts 14-7. We'll be back right after this.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com.
Galaxy Pizza of Byesville and Cambridge features fresh-made dough and fresh-cut veggies on their products every day. Pizza and wings make the perfect combination for your game. Galaxy Pizza is happy to help with the sports preview and want to wish all teams good luck in the upcoming season. Enjoy the evening and enjoy their pizza. Galaxy Pizza, we're out of this world. Give them a call in Byesville or in Cambridge to place your order at 685-0744 or 439-0744.
Welcome back here to Meadowbrook. John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-7. First play of the second quarter here. Winland takes a snap, hand off to Lincoln Gilcher. He's stuffed up this time. Nothing doing there. Maybe a yard. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and about a long 3 for the Little Muskies.
That's the first time they've really got Gilcher on the ground quickly. I mean, he's had some space tonight. And last week against Sheridan, he just didn't have anywhere to go. So he's got 7 carries for 30 yards here tonight. And that's more than he had the entire game last week.
That's first push we've seen from that, pushing the John Glenn line back a little bit. So Twins to the left, Twins to the right. Gilcher behind Winland. This time Winland drops back to pass a little too high for Walker, and that's going to bring up 4th and about 3.5. So let's see what Coach Edwards decides to do here. He's going to send in the punt team.
And that was a throw that Winland just let get away from him a little bit. That's one he's got to make because he's got a big target out there in Walker, and he just threw it way too high for him.
It almost looked like Davey didn't get the proper grip on the football, and that sometimes happens.
And especially when you're not used to it being as colder, a little bit colder, but that just wasn't a good throw there, and now it's going to be a penalty against John Glenn. That's illegal procedure.
That's going to bump it back even 5 more yards. That's going to bring up about a 4th and 9, 4th and 8.
It's also the Little Muskies' 4th penalty for 30 total yards here so far. A couple of those are of the offside variety there where they've been drawn off.
Little confusion here by the Meadowbrook punt team. They started jogging off the field and realized, they got to punt it yet. So Walker with the rugby-style punt kind of shanks this one to the right. And it gets a roll, and it heads directly, once again, like a neutral roll. But probably a 20-yard punt there for Nathan Walker. And that thing was probably shanked. So that's going to give Meadowbrook their best starting field position of the night. That's going to put them at the John Glenn 42-yard line.
This is my 4th game seeing John Glenn this year, and those are the 2 worst punts I've seen from Nathan Walker all season, the 2 punts he's had tonight. So unfortunately, he's just having a rough night there punting the football.
Huey in the shotgun. Almost got the Little Muskies to jump again. 11:06 left here, second quarter. John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-7. Hand off to Rivera, and that's a really nice play by Christopher Wise. Christopher Wise, the sophomore who's been returning kicks tonight, he was in there in a minute, and in less than a minute, I should say, and he was quick to the ball, and that's a 5-yard loss. So nice play there by the sophomore, number 2, Christopher Wise.
Nice play on the edge again. That's the second time he's done that tonight where he's come up and made the play there, and he's contained the running back, and another tackle for loss. Nice play there by Wise once again. And again, a tough down and distance here for the Colts offense.
And that was a takedown, and Christopher is a wrestler. Looked like a typical wrestler play right there. Nice play there by Wise. This time Huey rolls to the right. Wide open is, I believe, Norman. Norman had all kind of space out there, and he's going to pick up a lot. He's going to pick up about
10 yards.
10 or 11 yards. That's still going to bring up 3rd and less than 5 for the Colts. So, but Norman that time had a lot of real estate out there by himself.
Looked like a blown coverage maybe. He was all by himself.
Yes,
That's his first catch of the night.
This time, Huey tries to get that defensive line to jump again. Almost got him.
That's one of those where you're just preaching to the kids on the line, watch the football.
Right, that's all you got to do. When that ball moves, you have to go. This time they're just going to give it to Huey. Huey's going to go by himself. It's going to be close, but he's not going to get it. He's going to be about maybe 2 yards short. So it's going to bring up 4th and a good 3. And that's probably 4 down territory for Coach Norman.
Definitely, you're going for this here.
I don't think they're going to send out the field goal kicker, Dave. So 4th down, Huey. Colts going to go for it. Going to try to get them to jump. They did not jump. Offensive line looks over. Huey looks over. Receivers look over to get the play from the coaching staff at Meadowbrook. This time they're going to Huey keeps it again, and he's going to have the first down. And Huey's been effective faking the handoff and taking off running. He picked up 6. He needed 3. He got 6. So Meadowbrook keeps the drive alive inside the 30 at the Little Muskies 28-yard line.
Looked like a handoff all the way, and he pulled it in and made a nice pickup there for the first down.
Yeah, really good ball handling skills there between Huey and Rivera. So 1st down and 10, 28-yard line. Colts driving again, 8:35 and ticking in the second quarter. Huey takes the snap, throws out to Norman. Norman, not a whole lot of success on those quick passes. And quickly out there, looked like Ryder Rock to the football, getting there quick, the corner out there very quickly on Norman. And I think the Little Muskies defensively know that Norman is he is their number 1 threat out there as a wideout.
But they converged quickly. They had a host of defenders out there, and it's like they almost knew that was coming.
Yeah, that was really, really quick.
Really nice play there from the John Glenn defense. And again, 2nd down and long here for the Colts.
I think Norman's in at quarterback. I can't really, it's hard to tell right now. Handoff to Rivera. Rivera doesn't have anything going there either. Wise, Rock, and look like Sensaball in there. All 3 guys converge right there on Rivera, and that's going to bring up a loss. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 14.
That's another 2nd consecutive tackle for loss here. One on that little screen pass to Norman, and that handoff to Rivera. Really good penetration there from the John Glenn defense on that one.
7:20 and counting, and ticking, I should say. 3rd and 14, Meadowbrook. Huey claps, nothing going on. Trips to the short side. You don't see that too often. One wide receiver up to the top. Norman, they're going to roll toward Norman. And he's going to under heavy duress and a fantastic route. Nice play, but probably the defensive play of the night.
That was a great defensive play. Boy, he closed. He closed in a hurry because it looked like that's going to be completed.
Yeah.
And Shade at the very last second dove for it and knocked it out of the hands of the receiver. A really nice defensive play there by Kobe Shade.
Yeah, Kobe Shade with the defensive play of the night so far. And you almost wondered, you put trips down to the short side and you give your best receiver all that wide
space
field out
yeah.
there. And Shade was out there on an island against a good receiver, Norman. And that was not a bad throw by Huey.
No,
either.
that was a pretty good throw.
So that's going to bring up 4th and 14. Colts making a decision here, and I think they're going to take a timeout, and we'll take it with them. With 6:59 here in the second quarter, John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-7. We'll be right back.
Do you really think that an insurance company who promises quotes in a few minutes has your best interest in mind? Do they really know you and what coverages you need? Hi, this is John Valentine with Valentine Insurance. We take time to learn about you and your insurance needs so you can feel comfortable that you're receiving the right coverages at the best possible prices. Find us on Facebook, stop by our office, or give us a call at 994-1776. Valentine Insurance, a partner you can depend on.
Welcome back to Eugene Capers Field here in Byesville at Meadowbrook High School. I'm Mike Snively, joined by Dave Hilliard. Meadowbrook with the ball down 7 with 6:59 left in the second quarter. And
on a little shout out to some of our loyal listeners.
Sure, go ahead.
Athletic director at Muskingum University, Carrie Winters.
And one fine neighbor, too.
And one fine neighbor for you.
She's a good neighbor.
Great atmosphere at Muskingum last Saturday for a football game, that's for sure. They got Mount Union in town tomorrow afternoon, so the real test for the Muskies.
Carrie doing a great job up there as the director of athletics at Muskingum University. So 4th and 14 here. Back deep to pass is Huey. He's under heavy duress. The ball's not going to make the first down marker, but Nathan Walker put a lot of heat, 110 on the other 10 from one team to the other, and Walker comes up a little gimpy after diving after Huey, but that's going to be a 4th down on turnover on downs, I should say, by the Colts. So
good play by Huey getting rid of the football though, because 4th down, if he guns down back there at the 40 plus, that's where John Glenn's going to get the football. But instead, back at the line of scrimmage, just a really nice effort there from Nathan Walker on the defensive side to make a play for John Glenn, and they're going to take over, stopping a little bit of that momentum that Meadowbrook had amassed from that touchdown, and then another decent drive there.
And Meadowbrook does seem to have a little bit of momentum here. This time Gilcher, nothing doing up front there. Looked like taken down there by number 71, and I hope we start getting some right numbers with these black uniforms. I think that was Bailey Kuhn. Yes, Bailey Kuhn's got the right number here in the program, and 68 Austin Steele. So it's going to bring up, actually lost a yard, so 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11, Gilcher to the left of Winland. Winland fakes, rolls a little to his left, finds Gates Thompson. Gates Thompson bobbles it several times. Thought he had it 2 or 3 times, but then lost control, and they're going to call Blankenship.
It was incomplete.
Kind of got his hands in there and knocked it on, incomplete. So 3rd and 11.
And in covering John Glenn this year, Winland has made some really nice throws, and he's made some that's been off target. But he's needed as receivers to help him out and make some catches, and they just haven't really been very consistent in doing that for him. That's one that should have been caught right there.
Winland sends Thompson in motion, drops straight back. He's going to go deep, nobody home. Well defended, double coverage there was Walker, so that's going to bring up 4th and 11. John Glenn once again in a punting situation. Both teams trying to hit their weapons on the outside and in the last 2 possessions, and both unsuccessful.
He's had trouble when he's got the snap. He's having trouble getting the grip on the football. I noticed that on that play, and you mentioned on the other one. That's just happened to him again right there. We'll see if Walker can get off a better effort here on the punt this time.
I'm sure this is the coldest weather that either team has played in. Walker this time with the rugby style. He does get a pretty good punt this time. Dyer's got to go back to his 29-yard line and maybe taken down. It's hard to tell if Barnhouse or did he slip?
He slipped a little bit there. He might have got a hand on him, but he did slip.
Barnhouse always jolly on the spot, though. But nonetheless, a very good punt and good punt coverage there by the Little Muskies. So the Colts are going to have the ball on their own 28-yard line on the left hash. We have 5 minutes and 58 seconds, and I want to say a big thank you to our producer, Brett Klein, our assistant producer, Brandon Hickman, our cameraman right beside me, Andrew Dunlap, and down on the field, our cameraman, Mike Mitchell. Guys are doing a great job tonight.
Takes a lot of extra work that you and I know nothing about
to
get all this on the radio and on the internet.
That's right.
We would be hard-pressed just to get it on the radio ourselves.
We would. Dave and I, we're lucky we just show up and call the game.
We just talk.
We just talk, and we can do that. So Huey out to Norman. Norman with the catch, makes a move. Barnhouse comes up with the tackle. Once again, Barnhouse flying around out there tonight. 2nd down and about 6. 5:43 and ticking here at Eugene Capers Field. I'm Mike Snively. With me, Dave Hilliard. We're on 97.7 WILE and YRPtv YouTube and YRPtv Facebook. Second and a long 5, trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Huey takes the snap. A little run pass option that time intended for, looked like Blankenship. Excuse me. Blankenship through his outreached arms, going to bring up 3rd down and a long 5.
Well, that's one of those two. That's really close. Those linemen are going to be.
It is close.
That's a tough one.
If you can throw it quick enough, right? If you can throw it quick enough before the linemen run downfield. And you're right, though. That's just a tough position to be a lineman in. Do I run downfield and make that extra block for the run, or do I stay in here and pass block? You really don't know because you don't have eyes in the back of your head. So 3rd and 5. Huey rolls to the right. He's going to come back and try to throw a screen, and it's set up really, really well. And that's going to be Cooper McManaway. He's going to have a lot of room to run here. He's heading down the left sideline, and he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line of the Little Muskies before he was taken down by Kobe Shade.
It's a 36-yard completion there.
That's Cooper McManaway's second big play on the evening, just a freshman. So that's going to bring up a 1st down with under 5 minutes here in the second quarter for Meadowbrook.
And that was a great.
Every time he claps, one Muskie defensive lineman moves.
I mean, look at the football. I mean, it's easier said than done.
Right. Huey hands it to Rivera up the middle this time. Not much going there either. Walker on the tackle, and looked like number 45 for John Glenn. That's Connor Sensabaugh.
Again, I think it's 3rd and 14 here. I still think we're looking, this is 2 downs to try to get this in this situation with 3:26 to go here until halftime.
Now Meadowbrook has no timeouts left here in the first half. John Glenn has all 3. 3:19 and ticking. Huey takes a snap, rolls to his right. Pretty good coverage so far out there, and that ball looks like it hit the ground, and it did. It was intended for Nick Norman. So that's going to bring up 4th down and about 14 for the Colts.
And again, with 3:06 to play, I mean, you're not going to punt from there. I mean,
no, you're going to have to go for it. And I'll tell you what, here's another thing too, Dave, I just thought about. John Glenn's 1-4, Meadowbrook's 1-4. You win this game now with 16 teams in the playoffs, you're right back in the hunt.
You could be back in the hunt, exactly.
You're back in the hunt. John Glenn right now is 22nd in Region 11, and Meadowbrook is tied for 25th in Region 15. So 4th down, Colts going to go for it. Huey drops straight back. He's got plenty of time. He could run it if he likes. He's going to throw it up, and wow.
Throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, there was like some confusion there with the 2 Meadowbrook receivers on the John Glenn sideline, and he throws it out of bounds, and that's going to leave. And the clock's still running. It should be stopped. Let's see how long his clock runs.
We'll see how long it runs. They've run 10 seconds off.
There should have been 3:02 left. Let's see how long this thing runs. It's still running. It ran 15 seconds more.
Easily.
Yeah. Let's see if they decide.
Where's this game at?
Well, let's see if they decide to put more time on the clock.
Let's see. We need to run some time here, so John Glenn doesn't have enough time to run some plays here. I think they're having a discussion about it, but it was.
When I looked up when the pass was incomplete, there was 3:02.
3:02, yeah.
So right now it says 2:47. The officials confer, and he'll probably let us know through the microphone how much to put up there.
If they would ask us, we could tell them.
We could tell them exactly.
Because we were on top of that.
And we're very neutral.
We're Switzerland. We're neutral.
Yeah, we're neutral.
We're neutral.
What are those shoes? Swiss?
K-Swiss?
K-Swiss. Is those shoes?
Those are old, yeah.
Old school shoes,
You're showing your age, Snively. I don't think they're going to be putting 2:59. They did put some time back on there.
Okay, so they put about 12 more seconds back. We thought it should have been 15, but nonetheless, Little Muskies get the ball on their own 32-yard line. Got a new quarterback in, Jake Johnson this time. Little sophomore, he's going to run out to the left, and little Wildcat formation for the Muskies, and there's nothing going on there. A host of Colts there in there to tackle number 15, Jake Johnson. They're going to leave Johnson in there. 2 minutes and 37 seconds and ticking. Johnson this time throws, and it's high for Walker. Walker does catch it, though. He picks up about 5, but gets out of bounds, so 2:31 left. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Little Muskies. Johnson stays in. Johnson 5'9", 120-pound sophomore. Larrick in motion. Johnson back to pass. Sets up the screen. Gilcher fell down. And we have a flag down. The only illegal man downfield, but they're definitely going to decline that. Meadowbrook will. So that's going to bring up another punting situation.
Well, after those first 2 possessions for John Glenn, they just really have not done anything offensively.
No. And we haven't seen Ryder Rock after the 39-yard touchdown run carry. Has he got 1 carry?
He's got 1 carry for 39 yards.
It's a good average.
Walker back there in that punt formation again. We'll see if he can get off another good one like he did on that last kick.
So here he goes. Rugby style to the right. Booms it fast. It's going to roll. And it's going to be covered by, guess who? Cameron Barnhouse, a phenom on the special teams and defensive end tonight for the Little Muskies.
He just seems to be wherever the football is. He just got a nose for the ball, and a really nice coverage again on that kick.
Just a junior. So Barnhouse playing lights out tonight, especially in the tackling department. Colts come out, no timeouts, 2:19 left in the first half. They trail John Glenn 14-7. Huey back in the shotgun. Bopp has been out with an injury.
And that's going to be movement on Meadowbrook. The entire
right
two
side.
receivers on the right side over there.
Yep.
Got a little bit anxious.
And once again, Sam Bopp on an injury update was taken out. Scary moment there for a second. Didn't move for a while, but then was able to get up on his own feet and walk himself off the field.
Right.
So good situation there, seeing him go off on his own power.
6 penalties now for 28 yards for Meadowbrook.
1st and 15. Huey drops straight back. Pretty good time, only 3 men rushing. Lets it go. And this could be interference, and no, they did not. They did not call that interference. Really good coverage out there by Kobe Shade.
A little bit underthrown.
Underthrown. That's why I thought the interference was going to be called. You see that in the NFL all the time. Speaking of the NFL, who's your Bengals got this week?
The Jets.
The Jets, okay. Well, it's the NFL, and obviously anybody can beat anybody. And you know how the AFC North is. Everybody hates everybody.
It's frustration central in Cincinnati right now.
Yeah, 0-2. 0-2. Pittsburgh's not much better.
Should have beat your Steelers that first week. Was
one long snapper away, exactly.
Exactly, yes, sir.
2nd and 15, trips to the left. This time Huey keeps it himself, doesn't pick up a whole lot. And I think John Glenn's going to call a timeout here, and they do. So 2:05 left here. John Glenn's going to take a timeout. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back after these messages.
White Pillars Christmas House is a proud sponsor of Muskingum County High School football. Located at 7405 East Pike in Norwich, the Christmas House is your one-stop shop for all your Christmas needs. From different collectibles, nativities, lights, gifts, to all kinds of ornaments. Stop in today at this unique, one-of-a-kind Christmas shop. And Merry Christmas.
Welcome back to Meadowbrook High School. John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-7. Meadowbrook's going to have the ball at their own 25-yard line, 3rd and 13. So John Glenn used a timeout, and they still have 2 timeouts, trying to get the ball back and score before half. I'm Mike Snively. I'm joined by Dave Hilliard. And Dave, you hit the nail on the head. John Glenn, after their first 2 possessions, they've kind of stalled out offensively, and Meadowbrook's found a little bit of momentum.
They have, and they're trying to get the ball back here, which I didn't. I was thinking John Glenn was going to run out that last 3 minutes they had, but now they could get it back again.
Huey, nice pass to Blankenship. Blankenship's it's probably going to be a first down.
Yes, it is.
So After the timeout by John Glenn, Meadowbrook comes out. They needed 15 yards. They got 15 and a half. First down Meadowbrook, clock running below 2 minutes. Meadowbrook at their own 40. Hurry up offense. Snap to Huey. Fake handoff. Goes up top, and it was intended for Nick Norman. And once again, pretty good coverage out there by Kobe Shade, the 5'10 junior. Norman hasn't caught the deep ball yet. He has caught several bubble screen type, jailbreak screen type passes tonight. But that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Still a minute 43 to go here until halftime. Plenty of time to get something going here if you're Meadowbrook.
So minute 43, roll out to the right. Walker in pursuit. We've got another wide open receiver. Nick Norman wide open again. And that's the second time Norman has been really, really wide open. He gets out of bounds. The pass is complete, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and about 3.5. And I think John Glenn may use a timeout. A lot of times, I think that was probably the second mistake. How can Norman get that wide open? He's their best receiver. And I think the coaching staff at John Glenn just had enough. Said, we got to figure this out. So they're just going to do this all the way down the field. So we're going to keep it here. Once again, I'd like to go over our sponsor list tonight. We have Wayne Garage Door, Galaxy Pizza, J&S Tree Services, Stoney's RV, 209 Tire, Guernsey County Children's Services, Brunner Land, Doan Ford, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company, WB Green Insurance, Southeastern Med, Abels Incorporated, Valentine Insurance, AMG Vanadium, White Pillars Christmas, and Dirtworks of Ohio. Without all their great sponsors, none of this would be possible. So, Colt offense comes back out. 3rd and about 3.5 to 4. Ball on the Colts 47-yard line. Huey back to pass. Pump fakes one side, looks to his right, finds an open receiver, and that's going to be, it's a completion for a 1st down, and that's Nick Norman as well. Looked like Norman snuck in from the backfield that time. So hurry up offense here for the Colts. Minute 20 ticking. This time rolls to the left, Huey. Got another wide open receiver, and that is, I can't see a number here. I'll get you a number quickly. That's Evan Dyer. Evan Dyer with the catch on the 1st down, and the Colts are driving again. So 1st and 10, ball down to the 25-yard line. Colts trying to tie this thing up. Minute 11, clock stopped. Dyer was out of bounds after the catch. Huey finding success on these rollout plays. Rolls to the right this time. Plenty of time. Throws it, and just wide of Evan Dyer this time. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 with a minute 6 left in the half.
And Huey paid for that one, too. Nice pressure there defensively from John Glenn. And that is his 19th attempt of the game. And that's, I don't know if they really wanted to throw the ball that much, but they've already got 19 pass attempts.
And probably going to be over 20 with this next play.
Yes.
And that's the one thing that I have noticed when he rolls out, though, Dave. He does seem to get more time, a little bit more space. Maybe sees a little bit better. And John Glenn's not got a ton of pressure on him tonight. Not a whole lot of sacks, if any. So Huey trips to the right, single receiver to the left. This time they got the run-pass option, and Norman was not looking for that one. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 with a minute 4 in this long first half here in Byesville.
I look back and I did the game with John Valentine when Meadowbrook played Cambridge, and Huey had no time to do anything the entire night.
Right.
I mean, they couldn't pass the ball, they couldn't run the ball. I mean, 0 offensive output in that one. And putting him on the move is at least getting him some time.
Right. And this time John Glenn did not jump. The clap almost got him to jump off sides again. 3rd and 10. Rivera now stands behind Huey. Huey, run pass option. That ball was batted down by number 4, Cash Smith. And had Cash Smith not batted that down, it looked like Norman was going to be open for at least a 1st down, maybe more. Clock right at a minute.
And they're going to
bring the field goal unit in here, and that's going to be Garrett Milam, it's going to be a 42-yard attempt.
42-yard attempt here. He's putting it down on the 32.
42-yard attempt, 4th and 10. 1 minute exactly here left in the first half. Snap is good. Kick is up, and it's going to be just wide right, no good. And that John Glenn defense dodged bend but don't break again in that not quite the red zone, but close.
Very seldom do you see a high schooler attempt a 40-plus yard field goal, so I wanted to see it go through just so I could have seen it.
Right.
The young man from Cambridge has got a really nice foot too. He's a good kicker.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name right off the hand, but he has a really good foot, and I watched him in warm-ups, and he was kicking them 40-plus easily.
He was banging them, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to take – now, the one thing about that's like a punt, because now the ball goes to the 20-yard line.
Right.
So John Glenn's got to go 80 yards in 55 seconds if they want to add to their lead. Gates in motion, Gates-Thompson in motion. Quick pass out here to Walker. Walker's got a little bit of room.
He's got a lot of room.
He's got a lot of room. He's past the 50, the 40, the 30. He's going to be taken down inside the 30-yard line with 44 seconds left in the first half. So a huge
62-yard pickup.
62-yard jailbreak screen to the left. So now John Glenn's thinking, let's
52-yarder, 53-yarder. Sorry about that.
That's okay. 1st and 10, 44 seconds. John Glenn at the Meadowbrook 26-yard line, 27-yard line. Roll out to the right by Winland. Winland is just going to take a sack, and that's he probably should have just thrown it away. Now he's going to lose yards and have to take a timeout. Coach Edwards not happy with that one. So 33.6 seconds left. After a big 52-yard pickup there for Walker, Winland takes a sack, and the Muskies are going to have to use their last timeout with 33.6 seconds.
That's the last thing you want him to do right there. I know Coach is probably frustrated because just throw that sucker away and stop the clock.
Or run out of bounds.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I did it for many, many years, not very well at that quarterback position, and it's just a little bit different when you got there's a lot of moving parts
when there's people coming at you, it's a little bit different situation.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts there, and
just like I'm still undefeated as a broadcaster.
Oh, absolutely. I guess I am too. I don't know. I've taken a few L's in my broadcasting career, but not tonight though. Not tonight. We're coming on strong, Dave, dropping straight knowledge. So we got the trips to the left. Single receiver to the right, 2nd and 11, 33 seconds left, and we have some movement there. And it looks
I don't know. That's going to be offside because the defender was the one that drew the movement. Yep.
And he did. They got offsides on the defensive end there for Meadowbrook, so that's going to bump it up 5 yards. Same play, I would assume here. That bumps the ball up to the 23-yard line. Do we have like a fog moving in here?
Yeah, I've noticed that from that end down there.
Second game I've had with fog in a row. So Winland takes a snap, drops straight back, throws it, and he had Walker, and it's going to be intercepted. Walker had it in his hands, and it's going to be intercepted by, is that number 17? Let's see. Jacob Burris with the interception there. Off of the deflection, off of Nathan Walker's hands, Burris catches it on the goal line and returns it out. Let's see, he gets it out to the 11-yard line. So with 24 seconds left, Meadowbrook's going to have the ball in their own territory deep at the 11-yard line.
And that was thrown a little bit behind Walker, but again, that's a play that your receivers have got to make to help your quarterback out.
And it was just a little behind him. So Meadowbrook, they're just going to take a knee, let this thing tick down. Neither team has a timeout left. We're under 20. And the Colts decide they're going to take it to the locker room. And here goes the Little Muskies. They decide they're going to take it to the locker room. So, from Eugene Capers Field here in Byesville at Meadowbrook High School in this MVL contest tonight. John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-7. We will be back after this.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
Galaxy Pizza of Byesville and Cambridge features fresh-made dough and fresh-cut veggies on their products every day. Pizza and wings make the perfect combination for your game. Galaxy Pizza is happy to help with the sports preview and want to wish all teams good luck in the upcoming season. Enjoy the evening and enjoy their pizza. Galaxy Pizza, we're out of this world. Give them a call in Byesville or in Cambridge to place your order at 685-0744 or 439-0744.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
You're headed to work, and as you pull out, you notice your garage door has a broken spring, or a loose cable, a roller that's jumping the track, or some damage from your teenager who's still learning to drive. No worries. The professionals at Wayne Garage Door can provide quality service fast when you need it. And because you're busy, we make it easy to schedule a service call. Just go to waynedoor.com on your phone and request a visit from one of our skilled technicians. We'll get you on the schedule right away, and you'll experience peace of mind before you reach the office. Wayne Garage Door, service when you need it.
High school football
from AVC Sports
on WILE-FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Welcome back to Eugene Capers Field here at Meadowbrook High School. I'm Mike Snively, joined tonight by Dave Hilliard. Tonight at halftime, John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-7. And Dave, you know, the game started off, John Glenn comes out, a lot of firepower, kind of made it look easy.
Right, they did.
And I thought, what route are we taking here? Is this going to be a, you know, but give credit to Meadowbrook. They've decided that they're going to step up their defensive game, and they've had a lot of 3-and-outs against this John Glenn offense after the first few series, and their offense has found some things to get some points and produce some yards. So not initially what it looked like it was going to happen in this game. Meadowbrook's come back, made a game of this thing, and I think we're going to have an interesting second half.
It's definitely going to be interesting, and it's one of those, it's after the first two possessions, I thought, well, this is John Glenn, it's 14-0. They might just run away and hide here, but give, you know, Meadowbrook some credit here. They finally strung together some offense. They had a couple of penalties that helped them, especially against John Glenn and the defense, where they're jumping off sides. That's just been it's something I think that's really been tough for them to handle. So I will get through some stats here. Let's go through that real quick. First for Meadowbrook, I've got them I've got Sam Bopp with 3 yards rushing.
And Sam had that injury, and he's probably not going to come back because he didn't move there for a little bit.
Right.
And he did get up and walk off on his own power.
I got overall as a team, they've got 29 yards rushing. And here's the stat for you. Justice Huey has 38 yards.
Justice Huey has 38 yards rushing.
Yes.
Okay.
So as a team, they only have 29 yards.
So
So everybody else has been losing yardage. So
and another thing about that too, Justice Huey's not known for his running. He's known for his throwing. So that's kind of a surprise with Huey with that many yards.
And speaking of throwing the football, Huey, I have him as 10 of 21 here in the first half, 113 yards total. And I think, if you would have told me he was going to attempt 21 passes in the first half, I would have said that's not a recipe for success because I saw how much trouble they had protecting him. But they are doing a better job of getting him out in some space, rolling him out to his right or to his left. And he's had some time to throw the football. A couple times when John Glenn has brought some pressure, he's done a nice job of stepping up and avoiding some of that rush. But a couple times Nathan Walker's been in the backfield on hot pursuit, and he's been under some duress. So it's been tough that way, but 10 of 21 there for 113 yards. Nick Norman leading the way in receptions. He's got 5 receptions for 29 yards. For John Glenn, I've got him with 91 yards rushing. Lincoln Gilcher with 8 carries for 29 yards. Noah Winland with 3 carries for 23 yards. Ryder Rock, 1 carry for 39 yards.
And a touchdown.
And a touchdown for John Glenn. Winland, 4 for 10 for 101 yards and an interception in the first half. Jake Johnson, 1 for 1, 5 yards. And we've only got 1 receiver with a catch, and that's kind of telling here.
Yep, Nathan Walker.
They look to Walker a lot. He's got 5 catches for 106 yards, but at the same time, he could have helped his quarterback out there late in the first half, and they had an opportunity to score, and the ball went right through his hands. And when those get tipped up in the air, that's like defensive back heaven. They're going to get one of those. And they did, and they capitalized on that and stopped that John Glenn drive there late to keep the score at 14-7. Speaking of our scoring plays here, with 7:31 in the first quarter, John Glenn was on the board first. Gilcher with a 3-yard run, and the point after touchdown from Rector made that 7-0, a 6-play, 75-yard drive. Also in the first quarter with 4:40, so just 3 minutes later, John Glenn, Ryder Rock with a 39-yard touchdown run. And again, the PAT from Rector made it 14-0 with 29 seconds to go in the first quarter. So we had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter and nothing
in the second quarter.
Meadowbrook finally on the board. Dalen Rivera with a 5-yard touchdown run. Millham extra point made it 14-7, and that's where we stand at this particular time. Mike Snively, I can hit you with some of our scoreboard update here.
Yeah, let's hear some scores from around
our JNS Tree Services scoreboard update. In the Muskingum Valley League, I've got Philo leading Crooksville 22-0 at halftime. Tri-Valley with a big second quarter. They lead Morgan 21-6. Sheridan just blowing Riverview out. It's 40-7 at halftime. New Lex leads Coshocton 20-7. That was right before halftime. And at halftime, West M leads Maysville 14-7. And I had a Cambridge...
Martins Ferry.
Cambridge trails Martins Ferry 12-3 at halftime. And that's kind of a surprise to me.
You know who's a good team now? And they've struggled for many, many years is West Muskingum.
Yeah,
West Muskingum has struggled, but they're continuing to make progress in that athletic department. Big shout out to PJ Woods over there. He's got things shaped up and got those sports running really well over there for those Tornadoes. So West Muskingum really stepping their game up over there.
And last year they had a really nice season. I can't remember the running back's name, but he was the MVP in that.
Hopkins.
He was the MVP in the All-Star game. That was in the summer. He was a battering ram.
Was it Hopkins?
I think so.
I think it was Hopkins.
Man, he was a handful to bring down. I can see why I would have had him run the football a lot.
I never got to see him last year, but I do have him week 10 this year, and I'm sure the weather and his outside coverage is going to be perfect.
Oh, and it's going to be here, huh?
Yeah, me and Richard Hall are going to do the game 10 here from the bleachers, and I'm going to put my coat on. We're going to go.
I'll tell you who else is pretty good.
Who's that?
And has been having a really nice season and just been scoring a boatload of points and not giving up very many is Caldwell.
Yes, they've had a great year.
And
Young
they are
coach
up
down there.
35-0. With 5 minutes to go until halftime, they were leading Connaughton Valley 35-0.
Chance Rucker, the West Liberty State University product, probably not even pushing 30 years old yet. The young guy's going to be 6-0 after tonight.
Well, they're having a really nice season, and I was looking at their scores today, and I mean, they're scoring a bunch of points, and they're
not giving up.
I think they've only given up maybe 18 points total in 5 weeks. I mean, that's pretty good. So that
is really good.
They're having a nice season as well. That game, if you're interested in listening to that 35-0 contest, is on KC 105 on our YRPtv radio conglomeration here of AVC Communications, as well as that Martins Ferry Cambridge game on 93 BNV, and then the Philo and Crooksville contest is on Nash Icon, and that's 107.9 in Cambridge and 98.5 in Zanesville. Games that you can listen to if you want to spin the dial a little bit. You get tired of listening to Mike and I, although who would ever get tired of listening to Mike Snively and Dave Hilliard talk here about football and rock and roll and all those great things that we
Well, speaking of rock and roll, the John Glenn Marching Band just come out and did a fantastic job, and now we're going to get to sit here and listen to the Meadowbrook High School Marching Band. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip it down, let Brett take us for a little bit of a break here. We're going to flip it over to the ONN halftime report. So from halftime here, right now John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-7, and we're going to take a little bit longer break, and we'll be back after that.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
From the Ohio News Network, this is the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football. Named Best Sports Program in the Country by the National Association of State Radio Networks. Tonight in High School Football is presented by Beck's Hybrids. Now here's your host, Skip Mossick.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tonight in High School Football's halftime report. This evening we'll get an update here at the midway point of the football season and visit with Doug Ute, Executive Director of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Doug joins us next on the Ohio News Network.
I'm Scott Demaro, President of the Ohio Education Association, and on behalf of the OEA's 120,000 members, we're proud to bring you tonight's game. OEA members teach in Ohio's public schools and universities. We drive your kids' buses and serve them lunch. We're school nurses, custodians, librarians, and more. And we coach your kids on the field. We believe in great public schools for every student, and we believe our team is always stronger when we stand together, just as we have for 175 years.
Every farmer has their reason for why they do what they do. For Becks, it's faith, family, and farming. Since 1937, the Beck family and family of employees have been committed to honoring God and helping farmers succeed. Farming is full of extremes, and we face the challenges with hard work and steadfast determination, delivering quality line of products backed by legendary customer service. We look forward to standing by your side, supporting you as you live out the life you were meant to live. Beck's, when it comes to farming, we believe in something more.
This is Tonight in High School Football on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Skip Mossick.
We are presented by Beck's Hybrids. At Beck's, they are and will remain farmers at heart. And welcome back, everyone. Halftime of your game this evening. We're joined for a few minutes by Doug Ute, Executive Director of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. And, Doug, first of all, can't believe the season's halfway over. We see the computer points come out each week. And again this season, 16 teams from each region will now qualify. I guess tell everybody the pros and cons of the extra round of playoffs and, if the pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah, hey, and first of all, Skip, thanks for having me. But absolutely, because, expanding into 16 teams, it's all about opportunities for kids. And, our 818-member high schools, that's what we do. We provide opportunities for kids. And this doubles the amount we had before COVID. And again, football is the only sport that we don't allow everybody in. So you have to play your way in. And I just received a lot of positive from that 12 through 16 teams last year, from coaches, from parents, even from some kids about thanking us for the opportunity to play in a postseason. And Skip, let's go. They didn't go beyond football. The band gets another opportunity to perform.
Sure.
Cheerleaders get another opportunity. Student sections, and we did see something I didn't think we'd see that first year, and that was a 16 beat a 1 and a league rival. And it's not going to happen every year, but can you imagine the energy there was at Milan Edison High School last year, the 11th week of football, upsetting Bellevue and turning around and playing a school in their backyard week 2. That's what high school sports is all about from that standpoint. And, the other side of the coin, you hear from people saying, hey, there's a lot of lopsided matchups that first week. And, these games are week 4, somebody's winning 40-0, and the same team they might play week 11. And so, and I do think our football coaches in the state of Ohio did a fantastic job last year making sure we didn't have, 70-0 games that way. And so, really proud of them for that. But again, the expansion is, I think, is a good thing.
Doug, I know there was something put in place where a team needed to have a minimum of 8 games, though, played to qualify. I know you spent personally a lot of years out in Licking County. Let me ask you specifically about Newark Catholic, who had a couple of games canceled for different reasons. They're obviously in a tough spot if something should crop up and they lose another one. I mean, they're sitting first in their region right now. What options would they have if another game was canceled for any reason?
Yeah, well, Bo Rugg and I have had that conversation several times, and we certainly look at what we can do because it's out of their control. In that case, with Newark Catholic, if they had another game canceled, we certainly don't want to keep somebody out that's 7-0 or 6-0. And yeah, I'll tell you, Skip, I've heard from some schools that have played some big games already, non-conference, that tell me this game doesn't happen if we don't expand beyond 8 schools. Our coaches wouldn't have played each other. And but there are still some schools out there that struggle to find a week 5 or 6 or 8 because it's a tough time to find a game. And then if you're in that boat and you get a game canceled because of sickness or something that way, then you do get into a situation. But it's not our intent to hold anybody out that had games canceled that way. So we'll be looking at that.
Well, Doug, another question we get from time to time is do you envision a return one day of 8-man football in some areas of the state if there's enough of a desire for it? I know it was a close decision to do away with it.
Well, we struggle, and I think it's becoming more of an issue. And we had a referendum item on last year that would have possibly helped this, that failed only by 13 votes, which I think Kristen Ronay talks about being the slimmest margin of failure of any of issues, and it was to deal with some of those smaller schools that a student athlete can't play football because we don't offer football at our school, but I could go to my neighboring school and play, but still be a student at my home school. That's becoming more of a factor for us to look at that, and I'm not saying we're going to add 8-man football, but we need to discuss that a little bit and see if there's some help that we could give some of those smaller schools that are having trouble fielding a team.
Doug Ute, Executive Director of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. We appreciate you jumping on at halftime with us tonight, okay?
All right, Skip, thanks for having me. This fall's flying by, and we appreciate everything you do to promote our athletes here in Ohio, so thank you.
And we'll be right back on the Ohio News Network.
Bex recognizes this week's Player with Heart, Katie Woodruff from Western Reserve High School, for her commitment and passion on the field and within the farming community.
And I'm really glad I chose to run cross country because it taught me to love running and to love running with people, which is something a lot of people don't get to experience.
And Katie is a people person and a prominent leader at her school. She's the FFA chapter president, class vice president. She's on the student council, yearbook club, and National Honor Society. You know, in addition to basketball, cross country, and track.
Yeah, I love being involved in being a leader. And part of that is I don't go to school during the actual day because I do CCP at BGSU Firelands. So it really helps to get involved and to be active.
Part of that is keeping with her roots, which are firmly in agriculture.
It's left such a good impact on my life that I don't want to get out of it. I want to continue a career in it, live with it for my whole life.
At Bex, we are and will remain farmers at heart.
This is ONN.
Our thanks once again to OHSAA Executive Director Doug Ute for joining us tonight. Enjoy the second half of your ball game. I'm Skip Mossick on the Ohio News Network.
This has been the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football, presented by Beck's Hybrids from the Ohio News Network.
High school football
From AVC Sports
on WILE-FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
I got 51.
Welcome back here to Byesville, where the Meadowbrook Colts and the John Glenn Muskies have kicked it off, and halftime here. Muskies lead Meadowbrook 14-7. I'm Mike Snively, joined by Dave Hilliard. We are just discussing the temperature here.
I got 51.
You got 51, I got 61, but 51 sounds more...
My family would attest to me being into the meteorology here. So
I'm kind of in the same boat. I could talk weather more probably than I could talk football sometimes.
Maybe we should do that. Maybe we'll be better at that.
Jim Cantori from the Weather Channel has the best job.
He's got it made.
He sits in football stadiums and goes over these cold weather games. And
I bet he's not sitting outside tonight like we are.
No, he's not.
That's why we mentioned the temperature. Here at Meadowbrook, Mr. Snively and I are sitting outside the
right
press
in the crowd.
box, right here in the crowd on a nice cold metal bleacher tonight as the temperature continues to drop.
With no light.
We got no light out here. It's kind of tough to see what we're trying to write.
And the speaker that you obviously could hear John Cougar Mellencamp.
Little ROCK in the USA going on right here behind us. Not the ideal broadcasting situation that we have tonight, but
we're in the crowd.
We'll make the best of it tonight. We've got a pretty decent ball game here, 14-7 at half. As we said, we had some other scores that I gave there, but our halftime report here brought to you by Galaxy Pizza. I've not had Galaxy Pizza until tonight, because they had some back there for the hospitality area. I will give them bad broadcasting spot, but good food for all the people that are working here tonight. They had B-dubs, they had some of this Galaxy Pizza, and I will give Galaxy Pizza the thumbs up. My official pizza aficionado grade of a thumbs up for them.
Okay, good. Well, I tell you this too. We're how many pizzas are involved here tonight? Galaxy sponsoring us. We're going to have a +1 player of the game.
+1 pizza. We got Lock 9 pizza.
And I had +1 tonight. Took +1 home.
Yeah.
Had it tonight. And Lock 9, if you've ever been to Philo and eaten in their press box,
they have Lock 9 pizza.
All three of these pizzas are outstanding.
Well, I'll be going to Philo here in a couple weeks, so I'm looking forward to trying out the Lock 9 pizza.
You will enjoy that very much so, but we have a couple awards we have to give away tonight. Also, we're going to give away 2 Guernsey Muskingum Power Linemen of the Game, one from John Glenn, one from Meadowbrook. We will be handing out those T-shirt awards tonight.
I hope they gave out some extra large shirts for these kids. Like one week it was medium shirts for linemen. I'm thinking, come on, they're not going to be able to wear a medium shirt.
No. I think you got to start at the XXX for the linemen.
You got these big corn-fed linemen. You can't be giving them a large. They got to have XXX at least.
Exactly.
And then they'll tear the sleeves out and all that
rip
good
them all
stuff.
up. But we want to get a picture with the linemen in their picture with their shirts on, and hopefully get some recognition for that.
Meadowbrook going to receive this second half, so what do you think they're going to do? I mean, they've had a lot of success throwing the football, and if you would have told me that after I saw them play Cambridge, I'd have said you were crazy.
Right.
They just couldn't get Justice Huey any time to do anything that night, but
now they got him rolling.
They've had some success, and there's a team called the Cincinnati Bengals that I wish they would do that with their quarterback a little bit instead of letting him stand back there as
take a beating
target and let him roll out a little bit.
I tell you what, I'd take, as a Steeler fan, I'd take Burrow in a heartbeat. Rector kicks this thing off in the second half here. Over to Cooper McManaway. Cooper McManaway out, sprints to his left, has a lot of room here, and taken down all of a sudden by number 18. That was Evan Rector, the kicker.
And again, number 3, our man Barnhouse, comes shooting through there again and got a hand on the ball carrier. So
I tell you, Barnhouse is definitely in contention for some Player of the Game awards. The way he's been playing defensively and on special teams.
His special teams play and defense has been outstanding tonight.
So here we go. Start of the third quarter here. John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-7. Huey is going to start the Colts out here on their own 28-yard line. Snap, quick pass out to Nick Norman. Norman catches the pass. He's got at least 5. He's going to be knocked out of bounds over on the John Glenn sideline by number 7, Cannon Fox, the 5'8" sophomore. So he picks up about 6. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 4 for the Colts. And Norman, that's probably the most successful quick screen pass they've had to Norman because John Glenn's been snuffing that out all night.
11 for 22 now is Huey throwing the football.
Trips to the left, single receiver up to the right. Huey takes a snap, another quick one, this time out to Cooper McManaway through his arms. That's going to be a drop, and that's going to bring up 3rd and a long 4 for the Colts. I think Cooper McManaway would like to have that back, but just a freshman.
Hit him right in the hands.
Had to jump a little bit. Yeah.
Worst place to do it, hit him right in the hands.
And we may see that tonight, Dave, with our temperatures down the way they are. And
I think he started to look down the field a little bit instead of looking that ball all the way in.
And that's a good possibility as well. So same formation, trips down to the left. Blankenship up by himself to the right. Rivera to the side of Justice Huey. Another quick pass out here to McManaway. Same play, same result. And I think that looked like an exact replay.
That looked like we ran a replay right there.
Exactly. And deja vu all over again. Yogi Berra? I think that's who said that.
No, you're right on that one. Speaking of the Yankees, man, Aaron Judge. Whew.
Did he get 62 yet?
I don't think so, but he's going to win the Triple Crown.
Right.
Probably. I mean, it's just and a guy that was really, he's playing for a contract for next year, you know.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I think he'll get probably a good amount of money
He's going to make a little bit of cash.
Casey Clendenning on the punt, 4th and 4 for the Colts. Snap, handles it, kicks it. Big high boomer, fair catch signal, and it's trouble there by Walker, but Walker does make the catch, so John Glenn's going to take over at their own 36-yard line.
You don't just get football from us. You get baseball. You get everything with us.
I can combine it now, Dave. Speaking of baseball, probably the NBL Player of the Year last year, who's not even getting the opportunity to play, Colt Emerson. He signed with Auburn, is getting some big-time looks. They just won the 18U World title over Japan last week. And obviously, due to his success in baseball, he's not able to play football this year. So best of luck to Colt Emerson this year in his baseball career. So quick handoff there to Gilcher, and he's met quickly by number 71. And I believe that was Bailey Kuhn for the Colts, the senior. Drops Gilcher for a loss of 1.
Well, he was met in the backfield. That was nice defensive penetration there from the Meadowbrook defensive line, and 2nd and 11 here for the Muskies.
So Gilcher goes to the right this time. Winland keeps the ball inside, and he's got no room, and there's a fumble. And Meadowbrook has the ball, and it looks like it's recovered by Talon Cannon. So Winland goes to fake the handoff, gets met by a host of Colt defenders real quickly, and Talon Cannon comes up with the ball. Colts in business.
I was just going to say at the beginning of the second half, there's been one turnover, and when is that next turnover going to be that's going to maybe determine some momentum in this football game? And here it is with just 10:53 to go here in the third quarter.
So Colts come out with 2 backs this time. Hand off to Rivera. Rivera's got some room to the outside. He's going to pick up close to a first down. So that good success running to the right on that little sweep there for Dalen Rivera. Pick up 7, so it's going to be 2nd down and 3. Dalen Rivera, the 5'10", 155-pound junior. Colts on the march here, staying with the 2 backs, McManaway and Rivera, along with Huey in the shotgun. Huey hands this time to Rivera, and he's going to be close to a first down. Officials are going to stop this thing, and they're going to move the chain. So first down, Colts. And they are driving. They are at the 22-yard line.
And that's another WB Green Insurance first down for Meadowbrook. That is their 8th first down of the football game.
10:28 and ticking here. John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-7. Huey takes snap, hand off to Rivera. Rivera to the right, not as much going on this time. Initially brought down, and there may be a fumble. And I think John Glenn just recovered the football. Now, it was hard to see because it was clear on the other side, and I'm not going to be able to tell and pick up who.
It's a fumble, and I can't tell who got it either.
But Rivera was stripped, and I think initially in there was Cash Smith, who may have stripped the ball, but I do not know who came up with it.
Got Rivera getting a lot of carries tonight because Bop went out with the injury, so forced into some duty there, and maybe just not quite as durable as Bop has been in the backfield for Meadowbrook.
So John Glenn takes over, and they got Jake Johnson at quarterback this time. He hands off to Lincoln Gilcher. Gilcher's going to pick up just a few. Jake Johnson saw some time in there sparingly.
Played the whole second quarter against Coshocton a couple of weeks ago.
Is this his second series tonight, I believe,
This
Dave?
is his second series in this game tonight, yes.
So Jake, just a sophomore. Boy, we're calling a lot of freshmen and sophomores for both teams this year, or this night. Another handoff to Gilcher. Gilcher to the left. Looks like we're going to have a flag, and that thing's coming back for holding. Preliminary indication is going to be a hold, just to where the flag is. And yes, they're going to get a hold on the Little Muskies. That's going to bring that thing back and make it about, well, depending on where the foul was located, it could bring it back a good ways. Official still stepping it off, and that's going to bring up 2nd and about 20. We'll call it 2nd and 19. So all the way back, that moves the John Glenn Little Muskies to the 17-yard line. Johnson still in the quarterback, and Gilcher to his right. Lyric in the motion to the right. Johnson rolls out, and this is a run all the way, and there's nothing going on there. Taken down quickly by number 14, Dalen Rivera. And Johnson's going to lose a couple more yards on that play. That brings up 3rd down and about Derwent. That's going to be a long way to go for that first down for the Little Muskies.
And what did I tell you? When you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I was going to ask you, what's in your playbook here, Dave? 3rd and
hand it to Gilcher and maybe get a couple and get out of Dodge and punt.
And that's exactly what they do, and nothing going on there either. Talon Cannon smokes his way through the line and holds Gilcher to a 1-yard gain, and quickly the punt team enters the field for the Little Muskies. And if we're playing a game of field position in this second half, right now the Colts are winning.
They won this one so far, the exchange of turnovers. But again, John Glenn's going to have to do something offensively because now Meadowbrook is just pinning their ears back and they're coming.
Yes. And Walker gets off a punt, and it's going to take a John Glenn bounce. But it's still going to be great field position for the Meadowbrook Colts. They're going to start on the John Glenn 40-yard line. So 7:52, change of possession here in the third quarter. John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 14-7. All the scoring in the first quarter, and it's kind of fizzled out.
And I think, too, something we're seeing here, as much as Meadowbrook has been throwing the football, I think defensively, the defensive line for John Glenn, they're tired.
And they could be tired. We know they're down a couple linemen.
You're having to chase after this quarterback.
Yes.
You've got to – they clap or they don't clap, so they might draw you offside. So now you're down in that stance for a while. I mean, I think they've wore them down a little bit here because they haven't got much pressure on Huey at all here for the last quarter or so.
Good point. Huey takes a snap. Quick throw out here to Cooper McManaway. McManaway is going to be brought down by Ryder Rock. Nice play there by Ryder Rock. Cooper McManaway, though, that's the third time in the last 5 or 6 plays we've seen that play. Does pick up a good gain of 4 or 5 yards on that play. So second down, ball on the 36-yard line of John Glenn's. Huey hurries him up. Little run pass option, hits Blankenship across the middle. He's going to have a first down. He takes it down almost inside the 20. So Mason Blankenship, where he scored a touchdown on that, basically that same play last week up at Riverview, another successful play there. So Colts at the 20, inside the red zone. Quick throw out to Nick Norman. Nick Norman almost makes Kobe Shade miss, but he does not. So a little out route pattern there, picks up about 5 or 6 for the Colts, about 5. So on the 15-yard line, Colts in hurry-up mode. Huey takes the snap, run all the way, pushes his way up to about the 10. That's going to be close to a first down for Meadowbrook, a WB Green Insurance first down. And there's a player down for John Glenn. He's going to get up. That was Connor Sensabaugh. He's going to get up there. So first and goal for Meadowbrook.
From the 10, so they got to get in the end zone here. We're looking at 4 plays here to get a touchdown.
Yeah, 4 plays, and Meadowbrook with all the momentum right now. Huey still at quarterback. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to be taken down quickly and violently by number 64 for the John Glenn Muskies. That was Tanner Whiteman, another sophomore, 6 foot 270. I think that's all we're calling tonight. Sophomore, freshman, just all over the field tonight for both squads. Clock under 6 minutes and ticking. John Glenn leads 14-7 here in the third quarter in Byesville. This time, Colts slow the pace down just a hair. Want to make sure they get the right call. Second and goal at about the 10. Huey takes a snap, and that's Norman, I believe. Norman takes the snap, and he gets 2 or 3. He's going to get up to the 7-yard line. And that's going to bring up a big third down from the 7. And that was Norman at quarterback. So the Wildcat is implemented by Coach Norman. Nick Norman had a very successful game on the ground last week at Riverview.
And they're bringing Huey back in as QB here, so I'm anticipating a throw.
Yeah, Huey's back in, takes the snap, fakes it, rolls to his left, throws, got a wide open receiver, and that is Mason Blankenship with a 7-yard touchdown catch from Justice Huey. So with 5 minutes exactly in the third quarter, Justice Huey hits Mason Blankenship in the end zone for a touchdown to make the score 14-13. John Glenn leads by 1. Garrett Milam comes in to attempt the extra point to tie this game. Milam, the left footer, sets up. Snap is good. Kick is up. And kick is good. So from Byesville, momentum has shifted. We have a tie score. John Glenn 14, Meadowbrook 14. We'll be right back after this.
Are you looking for a career path with a growing company? AMG Vanadium is actively recruiting for its Cambridge and Zanesville plants. Come join a company with a strong environmental purpose and commitment to community. To learn more, visit AMG's website at amg-v.com/careers. AMG offers a competitive wage and benefit package. Applications are currently being accepted.
Your home and your car are likely your two biggest investments. Protecting them from unexpected damage is a prime concern to WB Green Insurance. They are proud to represent Westfield Insurance, a financial service organization that provides insurance products for your home, auto, and business. Sharing knowledge, building trust is Westfield Insurance's pledge to their customers, along with personalized claim service that's fast and friendly. To learn how Westfield can help with your insurance needs, talk to WB Green Insurance today.
We're back here live at Eugene Capers Field. I'm Mike Snively, joined by Dave Hilliard, where the Colts of Meadowbrook have just tied up the John Glenn Little Muskies. 14-14, 5 minutes exactly left here in the third quarter. Milan set to tee it up for the Colts. Is Cooper McManaway holding the ball. A little pooch kick down here will be picked up by Christopher Wise. Wise gets it out to the 30, and he's going to be taken down at about the 33-yard line. He's going to be taken down by the Colts' number 6, Braden Black. Officials have a little bit of a timeout here.
We got somebody with a cramp, looks like.
Yeah, we have a cramp here. We haven't seen cramps a while because of the heat, but
Weather Channel says it's 52 and it feels like 52. But
there we go. We need some more weather updates like that, Dave.
I thought it felt more like 42 now.
I did too. I did too. Our bodies aren't used to this, and
I mean, it was 90 degrees 2 days ago.
Welcome to Ohio. If you don't like it, stay a while.
And as I mentioned, we're sitting outside.
Yeah. I think you mentioned it once or twice tonight.
Maybe a couple of times. I'll probably get the running total from my wife when I get home about how many times I mentioned it.
But we're going to suck it up. We're going to be here for you, the listener.
We are toughing it out for everyone. Wherever you're listening from. I think my daughter in Madison, Wisconsin is also either watching or listening tonight.
My mom always listening down in Powhatan Point, Ohio, along the Ohio River, always listening to me.
Powhatan Point.
That's
the garden spot of southern Ohio.
Well, we'll call it Eastern.
Southeastern Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the garden spot.
The garden spot.
George Washington camped there in the 1700s. I did not witness it, but there's a big sign that says he did. So.
Man, we got football, we got basketball, we're getting a history lesson.
History lessons, yes. And once again, I still can't believe, speaking of history, the history of this game, this is just the 8th time these two teams, which are literally 12 miles apart, have played. And there's a little similarity to the playoff game last year where John Glenn was kind of in control, and you're like, this game's kind of going to get out of hand.
Meadowbrook
and then, boom.
Took over.
Meadowbrook's taking over. Now, this happened a lot earlier this year, but Meadowbrook now has full control of momentum here.
You talk about somebody that needs a first down desperately, and it's John Glenn, because they just moved backwards on that last possession, and it's all of a sudden they can't block anybody from Meadowbrook.
Right.
So they've got to do something. They like to throw the wide receiver screen. They did try to throw a screen to Gilcher once. It was overthrown, but I think they need to go back to some kind of screen pass to maybe help tone down the rush. Because they've just been in the face of the ball carriers and the quarterback here for the last quarter and a half easily.
Exactly. And that was number 68, I believe. Is that Austin Steele? I think that's 68 or 60. Yeah, I think that's Austin Steele. It's just hard to tell sometimes the 6s and the 8s from way up here. But I think that is Austin Steele walking off on his own power, has the cramp. I tell you what, those cramps, when you get your first cramp in an athletic event,
68.
It's scary.
Yeah,
it's scary, and you don't know what happened, but it just takes a while, rub it out, and it comes out. So here come the Muskies. Ball on their own 33, snap to Gilcher. Gilcher this time has a lot of room. It seemed like a lot of room there, taken down quickly there, quicker than anticipated. But Gilcher did have much more space that time. Picks up 6, brings up 2nd 4. And this time, John Glenn's going to hurry up to the line. 4:38 and counting. And this time, it looks like the Colts were offsides, and they were, so that's going to give the Little Muskies an automatic first down. Ryder Rock checks in the game.
It's going to be that WB Green Insurance first down by penalty time. Gilcher now 13 carries for 42 yards for John Glenn. And it's been a while since he's seen any space there. That was a nice carry.
Little hole there by that left side of that line for the Little Muskies. Nick Zanders and Clay Mathers over there. Winland this time takes the snap. He's going to have a little bit of room, but a nice defensive play, tripped up at the last second, or he would have had at least a first down by, it looked like Evan Dyer on the tackle there for the Colts. So only a 3-yard pickup for Winland, which could have been 10 or more. Winland takes a snap, going to have a reverse here. It's handed to Ryder Rock. Ryder Rock does not get away from Mason Blankenship, so he's going to have a minimal gain, maybe a half yard, maybe one. Nice play by Mason Blankenship on the side. Rock came in at the slot that time, and we kind of read the reverse up here from where we're sitting.
Nice play there, though, but not. They kept contained on that backside and didn't get out of position. So good job from Meadowbrook there on stopping that reverse.
So 3rd and 6, ball at the Little Muskies 49-yard line. Handoff to Gilcher. Gilcher gets about a yard, but not much. Tough sledding up the middle this last few quarters for the Little Muskies. So they line up for it. 4th and 4. You just wonder, are they going to try to draw the Colts off sides? Yep. They did get one guy to move, but I think Meadowbrook knows that they are trying to get him to jump. Now, for years, many times, the quarterback would just punt it for John Glenn and really pin the other team back. I don't know if they still have that in their arsenal or not. Winland looks like they're going to go for it. And they do. They roll him to his left, and he's got a wide open, not wide open receiver. That's going to be Nathan Walker. Walker's got some speed. He's down to he's going to score a touchdown. So that's going to be a 49-yard touchdown pass from Noah Winland to Nathan Walker. Walker ran like a little hook route and made a couple guys miss and outran the Colts to the end zone. So touchdown John Glenn. John Glenn leads 20-14 with 2 minutes and 32 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. That's going to bring Rector on to attempt the extra point. Rector 2 for 2 tonight on XPs. Snap is back, kick is up, and good. So with 2:32 left in the 3rd quarter, John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 21-14. We'll be right back after this.
Stoney's RV Center is the place that makes buying a new RV easy. Ask about their on-site financing with very affordable payments, and they make on-site camper service calls to the area campgrounds. Stoney's RV also carries cargo trailers, car haulers, horse and stock trailers, and open utility trailers. They install hitch systems and fill propane tanks too. Stoney's RV Center, the place that takes camping to the next level, and a proud sponsor of our area high school sports teams.
Start thinking about outdoor project season. That's where J&S Tree Care Services can help. Whether it's hauling, cutting, trimming, removals, stump grinding, leaf and debris cleanup, or any other timber project, nothing is too far away, too big, or too small. J&S Tree Care Services can do it all. Find us on Facebook at JS Tree Care Services and call me, Jeanette, or my husband, Steve, for a free quote at 740-260-6603.
Welcome back to Meadowbrook, where John Glenn with a big 49-yard touchdown pass from Winland to Walker puts the Muskies ahead 21-14, and we are now at a John Valentine kickoff by Rector. Rector puts the boot to it. It's going to be fielded short, bobbled a little bit by the up man. I could not see a number on the up man. It's a single-digit number. And that's going to be number 2. That's going to be Corbin Sitchna.
And guess who was in on the tackle?
And I'm going to guess, without even looking, it's going to be Cameron Barnhouse. Cameron Barnhouse, just an absolute special teams defensive demon out there.
Now, sometimes statistics are for losers, but I'm going to throw you an interesting stat. John Glenn has 155 yards in passing. Nathan Walker has 155 yards in receiving.
So, one guy's caught the ball tonight.
One guy's got the ball for John Glenn.
Colts take over here at their own 27-yard line. They trail with 2:26 here in the third quarter, 21-14. Huey takes a snap, hands to Rivera, and Rivera's taken out. We got helmets flying all over the place. Taken down by Walker that time. And let's see who lost their lid. That looked like Bailey Kuhn lost his lid. He's going to have to come sit out a play. Now, a lot of times when somebody loses their helmet, it just drops straight to the ground. This thing shot back 15 yards.
Yeah, that was – I thought it was the ball for a second. Now they got a replacement in for him.
Checking in real quick there was Austin Steele, who's just coming off of a cramp from a series ago. So trips to the right, single receiver to the left, pump fake, and nobody went for the fake, and a lot going on there. 2 ball fakes, and then the play was blown up and read real well by the secondary.
So it was that screen again. They were going to try to throw that receiver screen out there, and John Glenn was waiting for it.
He snuffed it out pretty good, and Huey that time tried to throw it to McManaway and went through McManaway's hands. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 10. Minute 59 here left in Byesville.
Now the Colts have been able to pick up a couple of these long down and distances tonight, and they're going to need one here to get some momentum back.
That's a good point. They have picked up some long 3rd and 10s. So we're going to have a flag here, and it looks like we have a middle screen set up, and also read very well there by the John Glenn defense. It's going to be an illegal shift.
And they're going to refuse that one. Nathan Walker all over that little screen there.
And that's going to bring in the Colt punt team right now. So 3 and out, first 3 and out on WILE.
Really got to do that here. Field position and game situation, you got to kick this one.
No doubt about that.
I mean, John Glenn went for that 4th down and scored. So,
you know, it just occurred to me, these John Glenn uniforms remind me of Penn State a little bit, except they're maroon.
Right.
So Clendenning kicks the ball, gets a great roll. Walker picks it up, and he's going to, instead of letting that thing roll, he probably saved John Glenn 15, 20 yards. So.
Yes, he did. Nice play coming up and fielding that like an infielder would. And
yes, he did. It did a really good job, and Walker, very high sports IQ, good basketball player as well. Smart play, and that's going to start the Little Muskies at their own 47-yard line. They lead Meadowbrook 21-14. I'm Mike Snively, joined by Dave Hilliard. We're on WILE 97.7 FM. We are also live streaming on TV, YRPtv YouTube and YRPtv Facebook. So we got Winland with Gilcher behind him in the pistol. Larrick in motion. Hand off to Gilcher. Gilcher has a little bit of room here, a little bit of space. He's still churning. He's going to pick up about 6 or 7 on that. And it seems like John Glenn now is starting to pick up a little bit of momentum on that offensive line.
Well, if you notice, they've got Caleb Larrick in there again. And I was talking about that before the game when they brought Larrick in against Coshocton and let him play a lot of tight end. He's an extra blocker. They go less receivers, more blocking, and if you look at him, you probably know where they're going to go with the football.
And there was Larrick with a nice block right there. That's going to help Gilcher pick up the 1st down. And Caleb Larrick's brother, Noah, last year did the same thing from the same position, and they look like twins because they're just big kids, probably 6'4", 6'5". And that's what they went in motion a lot last year. So 1st down, John Glenn. They are now inside Colt territory at the 37-yard line. We're down below a minute. Clock's rolling here at Meadowbrook. Winland in the pistol. To Gilcher this time up the middle. Gilcher jumps over the pile. He's going to pick up about 4 on that play. So,
and as I was commenting about John Glenn's defensive line getting worn down from having to chase after Huey.
Right.
Much in the same respect here, Meadowbrook maybe starting to wear down a little bit against this rushing attack from John Glenn. That's Gilcher's 17th carry, and that's going to be the end of the quarter.
Yeah, there's 1 second difference, and Coach Edwards from John Glenn says, you know what, boys? Let's get over here, get a break. We'll let this thing tick down below 9, 8, 7 here. So here in Byesville, we're going to head to the 4th quarter. John Glenn leads their rival, Meadowbrook, 21-14. We'll be back after this.
I was sitting in my car, and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood, and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
We're back here at Eugene Capers Field. Start of the fourth quarter here. John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 21-14. I'm Mike Snively with Dave Hilliard. Lyric in motion. This is an all-run play here by the quarterback, Winland. Winland's going to pick up close to a first down. It's going to be a little bit short. It's probably going to be third and short. Takes the ball inside the 30-yard line at about the 29 of the Colts. We'll call it the 28. So third and a short one. I would say the Little Muskies are in four-down territory for sure. Muskies quickly to the line. Gilcher moves to Winland's left. Hand off to Gilcher, and he's stacked up. And he's going to lose 2 or 3 yards. And the Colts are all over that. Talon Cannon again, and Picari. That was Isaac Picari on the stop. So that's a huge, huge loss. Went from third and less than 1. Now we got a 4th down and 5.
Big play there from the Meadowbrook Colts defense.
Really big play.
Really tough 4th down conversion here for John Glenn.
So Willen Claps does not get a jump from the Meadowbrook defense.
They might have seen that once or twice themselves in practice.
Absolutely. Play clock below 7. Winland calls the signals, Claps, takes the ball, throws it. He's going to go deep, and that's going to be overthrown, but he had Kobe Shade.
Boy, he had him wide open there.
Wide open, had a step on him, but that's going to be a turnover on downs for John Glenn. That's going to bring out the Meadowbrook offense, who trails John Glenn 21-14.
A J&S Tree Services scoreboard update. At the end of the third quarter, Martins Ferry leads Cambridge 18-10.
18-10. End of the third quarter. That's an interesting score, 18-10. So you were talking about the kicker for, I'm assuming, touchdown and a field goal, but the 18, I was always figuring out. You think it was 9 safeties?
Yeah, 9 safeties, definitely.
Safeties?
That's what it was.
9 times
6
2.
field goals.
Yeah. Meadowbrook comes back out here offensively. Quick throw, it's going to be a double pass. It looks like it's going to be Dyer. It's going to be a throwback to Rivera, there's a flag down.
Back.
This thing's going to go maybe all the way for a touchdown, but it's coming back. That would have been
the Meadowbrook kids know it. They're coming back.
Yeah, that would have been a 60. There's 2 flags down, actually. It would have been a 69-yard touchdown pass. It was a double pass. I've seen that play for Meadowbrook before, and it's worked. But the two officials threw the holding flags on the Colts, so that thing's going to come back. That's going to make it 1st and 20. As you can tell beside us, the Meadowbrook faithful is not real happy.
They're not real happy with the officiating call there.
Excellent play design, though.
I know, I've seen that one on film. I've seen them run that one.
Yeah, they've done it. And sometimes it's been successful, sometimes it's not. Meadowbrook, usually out of timeouts, they're really good at calling offensive formations and plays and trickeration.
Trickerations.
Oh, the old trickeration.
I love it, trickerations.
We're making up vocabulary words here tonight. Empty formation, the Colts go. And this looks like they're going to throw a quick pass out to, and that's Rivera, who split out as a wide receiver. He picks up a lot there. He picks up a good 12 yards on that play. So instead of 1st and 20, it goes going to go to 2nd and 7, maybe 8. So Colts first time we've seen the empty formation, 5 receivers. This time they go with 2 backs. Huey at quarterback. 9:53 and counting. John Glenn leads by 7. Rivera gets the ball outside, and once again, he is stuffed up really quickly. Sensabaugh, or not Sensabaugh, I'm sorry.
Barnhouse
there,
again.
obviously. And looked like 74, Nick Zanders as well. Nick Zanders, a 6'2", 215-pound junior. So now it's going to bring up 3rd and 8 for Meadowbrook. Things cooling off even more here at Eugene Capers Field. Quick pass out here to Nick Norman. Norman's going to he's going to be knocked out of bounds close to a first down. Let's see where they spot the ball. And it's going to be a first down. It's hard to tell, but the play happened on the Meadowbrook sideline. The chains are on the John Glenn sidelines, but the official,
they moved him
51 yards away, said move them. So it's going to be on the 42-yard line of the Colts. Another handoff to Rivera. Nothing doing there. Zanders there again. And looked like number 4 was in there, Cash Smith again. I know is that Blandon Baker in there? 68? I didn't coming out. He hasn't been in the whole game.
Yeah, that was 68, just jogging off the field there.
His helmet came off. So I wondered, I didn't even think he was going to get in the game tonight due to an injury. Tanner Whiteman did sub in there at the nose tackle there this possession. So trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Huey claps. 11 offensive players look for the play. 8:40 and ticking. Little Muskies lead the Colts 21-14. Rivera heads behind Huey in the pistol. Huey drops back, wide open. Cooper McManaway, and that flat's been open all night for the Colts. That's going to be a first down for the Colts inside John Glenn territory. So definitely Meadowbrook has seen something they like out there, Dave. For that, that flat out 8 to 10 yards has been open all night.
Well, that's one thing. John Glenn is still youthful in the defensive backfield, and that's a place that teams have been taking advantage of them, throwing the football.
Right there in the flat. So 1st and 10, Colts. Run pass option. This time a nice break on the ball. And I believe that was Jake Johnson coming up from his safety position, and it was a bang-bang play intended for Nick Norman.
Well, the Meadowbrook faithful would like a penalty there, but I thought that was a pretty good defensive play.
I thought it was a pretty good defensive play.
Got there right at the same time as the football.
And that's kind of what you want to do if you're the D-back. You don't want to be late. You don't want to be too early. So brings up a 2nd and 10. Colts at the John Glenn 43. Another quick pass out here to Dyer. Dyer doesn't have a whole lot of space out here. Going to be pushed out of bounds here by Cannon Fox, the sophomore, and it's going to bring up 3rd and about 8.
And lucky they didn't get a penalty for holding out here on that edge, too.
And that's the easiest place to call them, Dave.
Yeah, it is.
The fans can call them from out here. So 3rd and 8. Ball at the John Glenn 40-yard line. 7:56 left here in the game. John Glenn leads by 7.
2 downs to get it here, really.
Yes. Huey takes a snap, drops straight back. Got a little bit of pressure, and that's going to be a sack. That was Nick Zanders in there initially to get the sack. Now we have a penalty. We got flags thrown. We might even have an injured. I don't know if it's going to be like a taunting celebration penalty on John Glenn. We're about to find out, though. As you said, the referees have been calling this game efficiently on sportsmanlike conduct on John Glenn.
And on sports, no?
Well, and it's going to be a automatic first down for Meadowbrook. And if you're the John Glenn coaching staff, you just get a big sack, your first sack, basically, of the night.
They haven't been able to. They brought some pressure that time, and they finally get him in the backfield, and then they get a penalty for celebrating.
Yeah, that's the kind that makes your hair gray. So trips to the right, single receiver to the left, Blankenship. This time, Nick Norman carries the ball out of the Wildcat formation.
It's a good thing he didn't hand it off.
It was a good thing he didn't hand it off, and he got minimal yardage after that. So it's going to be 2nd and probably 10 again. Yeah, 2nd and 10.
And again, I got Norman with 6 carries for 1 yard.
6 for 1.
From that Wildcat formation.
So they bring Huey back in, the quarterback. Trips left, single receiver to the right. Norman, the single receiver down here at the bottom. Going to be a run pass option again, and he is
fumbled
sacked,
it.
And there's a big fumble, and we have a.
That's going to be John Glenn football.
We might have a flag down on the other side of the field too. See, I don't know if you can see where. It's either a flag or would that be the orange?
That's that
thing
orange,
they throw?
the orange thing I think that they throw.
And the John Glenn defense had a meeting right there.
Yes, they
and
did.
Justice Huey and came up with the fumble.
Again.
And I tell you, Meadowbrook's probably fortunate that thing didn't get picked up and taken to the house because there's a lot of space out there. So John Glenn takes over offensively at their own 38-yard line. Meadowbrook's going to need a stop here with 6:51 left to play in the game.
I think we're going to see a lot of Gilcher right here running the football.
John Glenn obviously is going to want to run the football, and they're going to stack the box. Meadowbrook's going to stack the box. 8 in the box, a fake. Winland shows a little elusiveness, a lot of elusiveness, and he picks up almost a first down. Looks like he gets about 9 on maybe a busted play.
It looked like he was trying to throw it, and then he decided he was just going to turn up field. And again, you know, expert analysis. We're going to see Gilcher run the football, and he's not touching it that time.
Well, we're never going to use the adjective expert any more tonight, Dave. Analysis, yes.
Analysis, but the expert will take out of there.
So
unless we're talking about pizza, then we can do some expert analysis.
And
for
weather,
some pizza.
and the weather, yes. So brings up 2nd and 1. This time we do see Gilcher. Gilcher plows ahead for about 5. He's going to pick up a first down, and this is kind of what John Glenn's going to want to do. They're just going to want to churn the clock, which is at 6:05. Chains are moving.
Gives them another WB Green Insurance first down with the clock rolling here under 6 minutes to play in this one.
And Meadowbrook's going to have to really, you know, stack up that box like they have been doing. Gilcher's going to stay in as the back. Larrick going to be the slot. Winland in the shotgun. Play clock at 7. Fakes it this time. Again, a little more room for Winland. Winland's got some space. He's got the first down, and he's going to pick up about 15 more. So Winland has been dominating this drive here with under 5:30 to play here in the game. Meadowbrook trails John Glenn 21-14.
He's ripped off about 24 yards there in his last 2 carries where he's really been bottled up.
And to be honest, this is the quickest and fastest he's looked all night.
Yeah, late in the game, so.
Looking good running the ball.
Good conditioning.
Noah Winland, very good conditioning. Meadowbrook will be focused on the inside run, and there's Gilcher again, or not again, I should say, but Gilcher, he picks up a good 4 or 5 yards. He's still churning. Actually, we're going to call that about a 7-yard gain. Clock's still moving, 4:44. Gilcher this time, he's going to come out. Rock's going to come in. So Rock's going to be in the game. Rock has 1 carry for 39 yards. 2 carries. I'm sorry,
he had 2 carries for 40.
Yeah, he had. That's right. He had the play on the reverse, but he did have the long 39-yard touchdown burst.
Hurt his average on that reverse.
Yeah. He's only averaging 20 yards a carry now. 39-1.
Hey, good math skills right there,
Very
too,
good.
Mike.
Hey, I'm with a math teacher. You're proud of me.
I was proud of you on that one. You rattled that off without a calculator.
I had to take my shoes off, though. Quick throw out to Gates Thompson. Gates Thompson looks like he has room. He's going to go out of bounds, and I think he's going to have enough for the first down.
Hey, somebody besides Nathan Walker with the catch for John Glenn. Gates Thompson with that reception.
Yeah, and he does pick up the first down. However, the clock does stop at 4:03. Muskies with a good offensive drive here. They're going to be on the Colts' 21-yard line. And, you know, a touchdown here and may seal this thing for
and that's
John
when
Glenn.
the large lady starts singing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Meadowbrook doing all they can to prevent that. 7 guys in the box. Winland keeps this time on the fake. Colts do a better job of bottling them up that time. Not a huge gain there for Winland, but it will be a positive gain.
Again, if that's a read on his part, he did a nice job there because they really keyed on Gilcher right there.
Talon Cannon with the stop.
Did a nice job, with the play fake and actually got something positive where there really wasn't much space.
Right. Checking in real quick here for Meadowbrook is Zayden Yeagle hustling in on the field. 3:26 and counting. Play clock under 10. John Glenn in no hurry. 2nd and 9. Thompson in motion to the left. Hand off to Gilcher. Gilcher's got a lot of room. And he's going to gain about 6, so that's going to make it about 3rd and 2. You're almost getting in that 3rd and 3. You're almost getting in that field goal range where we know Rector can probably make it.
Rector has a good foot, so.
And if any field goal here would make it a 2-score game.
If you're Meadowbrook here, you want to stop and get a timeout, I think, and get the clock stopped and save as much time as you can.
So, and I think Meadowbrook just jumped. And that's going to give a free first down to John Glenn. That's about our 3rd or 4th, maybe 5th combined offense
and that's
offsides call.
Now 10 penalties for Meadowbrook for a total of 53 yards.
10 so they weren't the big variety.
Yeah, a bunch of 5-yarders.
Yeah, a bunch of 5-yarders, yes.
And a 3-yarder because of the
first and goal.
distance.
Yeah, 1st and goal day down at the 9. Clock's running. And they're going to let this play clock go all the way down because play clock's only at 16. There's 2:15 and counting. And
that's just good move. You want to bleed as much time as you can here. You don't want to leave any time on the clock.
Both teams with 3 timeouts. Winland takes a snap, hands to Gilcher. Gilcher's got a little bit of space. He's going to take it inside, looks like the 5, right about the 5. So he picks up 4, and the Colts are going to use a timeout. So we're going to take a quick timeout here from Byesville. John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 21-14. We'll be right back.
Looking to buy land? Do you want 5 acres or more, say up to 50 acres? Brunner Land Company off I-77 Vocational Road, Byesville has land for sale. Buy acreage in Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Pennsylvania, and Indiana. Brunner Land Company has 500 tracts of land to choose from and creative financing for buyers. When it's land you want to buy, it's Brunner Land Company you should call. Brunner Land Company, Byesville off I-77. Give them a call at 685-3064 or go to brunnerland.com.
Back here at Byesville, Mike Snively with Dave Hilliard. John Glenn leads Meadowbrook 21-14. 1:57 left to play in the ball game. John Glenn deep in Meadowbrook territory on the 5-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Michael, we got a chance here. All our sponsors again: Wayne Garage Door, Galaxy Pizza, J&S Tree Services, Stoney's RV, 209 Tire, Guernsey County Children's Services, Brunner Land, Doan Ford, patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company, WB Green Insurance, Southeastern Med, Abels Incorporated, Valentine Insurance, AMG Vanadium, White Pillars Christmas House, and Dirtworks of Ohio. Got them all in.
Great job. Great job. Winland. Shotgun formation, 1:57. 2 guys move, shift, I should say, for John Glenn. Winland's going to keep it this time. He's got space. He's in the end zone. So that's a 5-yard touchdown run by Noah Winland with 1:52 left in the ball game. That gives John Glenn a 27-14 lead pending the extra point. And John Glenn kind of the drive that defined the game right there.
And I think that's going to be our Dirtworks of Ohio drive of the game.
Yes.
Brought to you by Dirtworks of Ohio. Call Dirtworks of Ohio for all your dirt material and excavation needs.
Sometimes things just set themselves up themselves, so that worked out good there as far as getting them some quality air time there. And Rector knocks in the extra point. So John Glenn with 1:52 left in the ball game, and I think we have a late flag here. and we do have a late flag. John Glenn leads 28-14, and this flag came real late as both teams were exiting the field.
Right. And going along with that, Dirtworks drive of the game, and that was basically a game clincher, looks like right now, putting John Glenn up 28-14 here. And again, that's brought to you by Dirtworks of Ohio. Call Dirtworks of Ohio for all of your dirt, material, and excavation needs. As opposed to the play of the game, Mike, I think the play of the game has got to be the 49-yard touchdown pass from Winland to Nathan Walker on a 4th down play that basically just changed the ball game. It went from a tie game, and then that just swung all the momentum back to John Glenn. So that's going to be our Stoney's RV play of the game, is that touchdown from Nathan Walker, 49 yards, pass from Noah Winland, a great throw, great catch and run there on a 4th down and 5 there from about midfield. So just, really nice play there, and that really changed momentum. So that's our Stoney's RV play of the game, and we just finished our Dirtworks of Ohio drive of the game. So excellent job by us getting the spots in tonight.
Great job, Dave. And as you were discussing that, John Glenn was called for an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Okay.
And that kind of throws a little bit of a wrench in things here because it's not sealed up quite yet for the Little Muskies. They'll be kicking off from the 25-yard line after the 5th. This is going to give the Colts, who will have 2 timeouts left, excellent field position after this kick. So Rector comes in to kick. Like I said, he's going to kick from the 25-yard line.
And again, if you're the John Glenn coaching staff, you got to be a little frustrated. Your kids are making some big plays, and then they're following up with bonehead plays.
Right, you don't
2
want that.
15-yard penalties here in the last few minutes.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want. You got full control of this thing, and like you said, you just bumped yourself back a step. So Rector goes on. He's going to kick. Back deep is McManaway and Dyer.
That was a nice kick.
And Dyer catches it. Line drive. Dyer brings it out, and he's going to be initially stopped there by number 15, Jake Johnson, the quarterback slash defensive back slash now on kickoff team. So.
And guess who else was down there too?
We know that Cameron Barnhouse, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be mentioning his name in the post game as well. So Meadowbrook gets the ball at their own 44-yard line, 1:48 left to play, down 14. Huey rolls to his left, throws it, and really well defended out there by Jake Johnson again. Pass was intended to Cooper McManaway on the out route.
And that was Justice Huey's 35th pass attempt of the football game.
On the night. Huey, also a sophomore, has grown up in his first 6 games, had his first game at Maysville, and he's shown much improvement in his first 6 games. Huey again, straight drop back, quick throw out here to Dyer. Dyer's going to get out of bounds. He's going to be short of the 1st down. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 3. 1:36 left to play in the game here at Byesville. Mike Snively and Dave Hilliard. Will be a long 2, we'll call it.
1:36 left. A lot of the faithful have left this one already.
They have left. Huey back. He's under a lot of pressure, and he was taken down and helped up this time. That was Cash Smith, and the Colts are going to take another timeout. We're going to leave it right here.
Cash Smith came in, they brought an extra, and it was him. He was an extra rusher, and he came off the edge, and he created some problems there for Meadowbrook. They couldn't get him blocked, and they had a meeting back there at Justice Huey's office, and they brought him to the turf. So that's going to bring up a huge 4th down here, which basically, with just 1:28 to go, is going to determine the outcome of this one.
Yeah, so they had 3rd and 3. Little bit of puncher's chance. Now it's going to be 4th and about 13 from now the Colts' own 41-yard line. So, well, Dave, we've managed to get through the elements tonight. We're lucky. It's just more than anything, it's just cool.
I just hope the rest of the games that I'm doing this year, I'm inside. That's all I'm hoping for. I'll be thinking about you when you're out here in the elements, like week 10. I'm wondering, what could week 10 bring for you? You could have snow out here.
We had a COVID game one time. Bill Castor and I, we had to go clear to Fairbanks, which is up by Marysville.
Oh, I know where Fairbanks is.
They put us right there in the student section on a table. 100 miles away, sat at the student section and broadcast the Philo Fairbanks games.
That was fun.
4th and 13. Last chance here for the Colts. 4-man rush, and there's a fumble, and it doesn't matter what happens here, but 64 for John Glenn. That's Tanner Whiteman. Falls on the fumble, which was a 4th and 13 play anyway, and that's going to pretty much seal the deal for the John Glenn Little Muskies. Colts just with one timeout. And all the John Glenn team's going to have to do is come out and go in the victory formation and take a couple knees.
And as you said, that the victory formation, that should be about it here. A couple snaps of the football, and this one will be over.
And that's exactly the formation.
And we'll be ready for our post-game report, and it's going to be brought to you by Doan Ford.
There's one knee. Winland takes the knee. And that's going to take it at least to around under 45 seconds before they have to snap it one more time. So John Glenn's going to move to 2-4 on the year. Next week, they are going to go have a home game against Maysville, then at Riverview, at Philo, and end the season against home at Tri-Valley. Meadowbrook, on the other hand, they're going to have homecoming here next week. They're going to take on Coshocton. Then they had 2 New Lex, week 8. Week 9, they had 2 Morgan. And they're going to finish up at home against the Tornadoes of West Muskingum. Winland takes his knee, and that's going to wrap things up here. That's going to drop the Colts to 1-5. So, final score here from Eugene Capers Field. John Glenn 28, Meadowbrook 14. Let this thing tick away as these teams shake hands.
Looking for new tires for your
ride? A lot of action at the beginning of the game, a lot of action at the end of the game. So we'll take a little bit of a break here. I'll let Dave, our mathematician, expert, guru, figure out these stats, and we're going to come back with some analysis of the game. We're going to hand out some awards and give us about 3 minutes, and we'll be back right after this.
Tires in Pleasant City should be your first stop. Mass Tires is now under new management and still committed to continuing high-quality customer service and offering competitive prices on top-of-the-line inventory, including Bridgestone, Cooper, Mastercraft, and so much more. Stop in at 519 Main Street in Pleasant City to see Chuck and Brandy. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m., and Saturdays, 8 a.m. until 2 p.m., or call 740-685-1199. Mass Tires, the best place to retire.
Start thinking about outdoor project season. That's where J&S Tree Care Services can help. Whether it's hauling, cutting, trimming, removals, stump grinding, leaf and debris cleanup, or any other timber project, nothing is too far away, too big, or too small. J&S Tree Care Services can do it all. Find us on Facebook at JS Tree Care Services and call me, Jeanette, or my husband, Steve, for a free quote at 740-260-6603.
White Pillars Christmas House is a proud sponsor of Muskingum County High School football. Located at 7405 East Pike in Norwich, the Christmas House is your one-stop shop for all your Christmas needs. From different collectibles, nativities, lights, gifts, to all kinds of ornaments. Stop in today at this unique, one-of-a-kind Christmas shop. And Merry Christmas.
The car is making a strange noise, then the worry starts. Who can we trust to fix the vehicle that won't cost an arm and a leg? TK Auto Service is the answer. They're the area's garage that treats customers fair and repairs what needs repaired. No upsells to drive the cost up. TK Auto Service, east of New Concord and minutes from Cambridge on Route 40.
Hey, this is Ted with TK Auto Service. Give us a call at 826-4916. That's 826-4916. Make us your repair service for all your vehicle care.
How can you select from insurance companies offering you lizards or ducks? When it comes to protection for your home and auto, you want a company that provides quality insurance products and personalized, fair, friendly claims service. WB Green Insurance represents Westfield Insurance. Their reputation is based on sharing knowledge and building trust. Westfield has been around the neighborhood over 150 years. WB Green Insurance welcomes the opportunity to quote your home, car, and business insurance. Don't be fooled by lizards and ducks. Call 439-1329.
In your time of need, will you be happy with your cut rate car insurance? Will you have the coverages you need? Valentine Insurance is dedicated to protecting you and your family when you need it. As an independent insurance agency, we have partnered with many reputable insurance companies who even have local claims adjusters to provide you with unbeatable service. Are you going to trust a talking lizard to help you with your claim? Really? Don't let this happen to you. Trust the professionals at Valentine Insurance. Call 994-1776.
Are you looking for a way to make a positive difference in a child's life? Hi, my name is Alicia Mallett, and I'm the Foster Care Program Coordinator for Guernsey County Children's Services. There are children right here in your community who need a temporary or permanent home through foster care or adoption. Are you ready to be that home for them? For more information on how to become a foster or adoptive parent, please call 740-439-5555. The children in our community are counting on you.
Members of Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative love Southeast Ohio, where the hills roll, the roads are crooked, and the trees are plentiful. Keeping the lights on in our beautiful corner of the state is a challenge Guernsey Muskingum gladly accepts and works hard to accomplish. Safety and reliable electricity at a reasonable cost are always our top priorities. It's our way of keeping the lights on for all members of Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative, a Touchstone Energy cooperative.
High school football
From AVC Sports
on WILE-FM, Byesville, Cambridge.
Welcome back here for the post-game wrap-up. Here I'm Mike Snively with Dave Hilliard. We got the cell phone flashlights out now. And we just called an excellent game here where the John Glenn Muskies defeated the Meadowbrook Colts 28-14. And Dave, we saw a lot of excitement early in the first quarter with 21 total points being scored. Not a lot going on in them second and third quarters. And then John Glenn, came on in the fourth quarter and had that huge drive at the end just to seal things up where they took a lot of time off the clock and kind of wore down that young Meadowbrook defense.
Our scoring summary here, and first our post-game again. It's our sponsor here for the post-game is Doan Ford. And we appreciate, again, Doan Ford sponsoring tonight's broadcast as well as our post-game report here. Our scoring summary, John Glenn got on the board first, 7:31 to go in the first quarter. Lincoln Gilcher with a 3-yard run, and Evan Rector, PAT, made it 7-0. John Glenn again, just a couple minutes later, with 4:40 to go in the first quarter, Ryder Rock with a 39-yard touchdown run. Again, the Rector PAT made it 14-0. Meadowbrook got on the board just before the end of the first quarter. Dalen Rivera with a 5-yard run, a Millam extra point, and it was 14-7. Third quarter, Meadowbrook tied the game on a Mason Blankenship 7-yard touchdown pass from Justice Huey. And again, Millam with the extra point, and that tied it up at 14 with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. John Glenn, though, with our play of the game, and again, our Stoney's RV play of the game, a fourth down, 49-yard touchdown pass and catch and run to Nathan Walker from Noah Windland, and the extra point again from Rector made it 21-14. And then our drive of the game that basically sealed the ball game with 1:52 to go. John Glenn on a Noah Windland 5-yard touchdown run, and again the extra point from Rector made it 28-14, and that was our final score. Statistically here, switch sheets of paper, all right. Had John Glenn with 211 yards rushing, 58 of those from Noah Windland, 83 from Lincoln Gilcher. Throwing the football, Noah Windland with 13 attempts, and he had 156 yards. Jake Johnson, 1 for 1 for 5 yards. Nathan Walker, 6 catches for 155 yards.
Big game.
Gates Thompson got the only other catch for John Glenn, so he had 1 catch for 6 yards. On the Meadowbrook side, it really hurt them, Mike, not having Sam Bopp. He got hurt early there, and that just, it forced them. I think it made them throw the football more than they really would have liked to.
Right.
Rushing, they only had 48 yards rushing. Dalen Rivera totally there. He had 4 yards after 11 carries. He had a couple positive plays and a couple negative ones there. Justice Huey had 40 yards rushing there for Meadowbrook. Throwing the football, Justice Huey, 20 of 36 for 192 yards and a touchdown. Nick Norman led the way receiving-wise. He had 8 catches for 47 yards. Cooper McManaway, 3 catches for 55 yards. And Mason Blankenship also with 3 catches for 37 yards and a touchdown. And again, these are all unofficial statistics. I am not a professional statistics person. I was a math teacher, not a statistics guy for football, so if you think I was wrong, then you're probably correct. I was probably missed something in the game here at some point. But again, just try to give people a good idea of what was going on. And
you did excellent, and we're going to review this game, and we're going to make sure those stats are exactly.
Yeah, going to get home and break down some film tonight, aren't we?
Unofficially unofficial. That's what I always said. Well, Meadowbrook wins this game 28-14. That's going to move John Glenn wins this game 28-14. That's going to move Meadowbrook to 1-5, and that's going to move John Glenn to 2-4. We got a couple more awards we do need to hand out. Let's do the Guernsey Muskingum Power Lineman of the Game. Each team's going to get an award, and we're going to get a T-shirt, and we want you to get your picture taken in this T-shirt, and you can send it to a number. They give it to you here. And for John Glenn, we're going to give that award to Gunnar Fox for the John Glenn Muskies, Little Muskies, and the Guernsey Muskingum Power Lineman of the Game. We're going to, and we want you to get a picture taken. And it's going for Meadowbrook. It's going to be Bailey Kuhn. So we will get these awards.
I think you're in charge of delivering those because you can take that one and your wife can take
both.
That one.
That's true.
That's
true. So I think I can deliver all of that. As long as everybody's got things written down. Now, why don't you talk to us about
I've got the Lock 9 Pizza Player of the Game. The Player of the Game is brought to you by Lock 9 Pizza in Duncan Falls. Try their Wangus burgers. I'm anxious to try that one. Unlimited fries, 100% juicy Wagyu and Angus blend. It's the burger people come back for at Lock 9 Pizza in Duncan Falls. Our Lock 9 Pizza Player of the Game for John Glenn. We called his name, and very well we could have gone with Nathan Walker with all the catches, and he made some nice defensive plays, but it just seemed like every time we called somebody that was going to be on the tackle, whether it was kickoff or punts or just playing defense, Cameron Barnhouse just seemed to be everywhere. A couple of old coaches, we kind of like to recognize some of those guys that go unrecognized sometimes. So Cameron Barnhouse is the Lock 9 Pizza Player of the Game for John Glenn.
And for tonight's Meadowbrook Player of the Game, and the sponsor is Plus One Pizza in Cambridge, Caldwell, Byesville, featuring signature pizzas and a full Italian menu. Visit plusonepizza.com. Well, tonight's Meadowbrook Player of the Game, Plus One Pizza Player of the Game is going to be quarterback Justice Huey. He was 20 of 36 tonight for 192 yards and 1 touchdown. And through 6 games as a sophomore, I've watched him progress, and he's continually gotten better and better and better each week. So Justice Huey will be tonight's Meadowbrook Plus One Pizza Player of the Game. So with that being said, Dave, we're going to be heading back toward Muskingum County, you and I. It's always a pleasure doing games with you. I thought, we braved the elements pretty good, and we're a little chilly.
We're just a little chilly. But
a little chilly, and good luck to your Bengals this week. And
that's tough for you, being a Steelers guy. I mean, come on.
I'm just trying to be a nice, friendly guy.
I see how
I really
am.
So.
Because you've seen the Steelers offense now, and you've realized that.
Wow. Just poor. But anyway, so we're going to wrap it up here from Eugene Capers Field here at Byesville on the campus of Meadowbrook. Final score, John Glenn 28, Meadowbrook 14. Good night. Have a safe night.
This is Russ Abels. Summer's winding down, but did you know this is actually the perfect time to upgrade your air conditioning? Because at Abels, the end of the season means an amazing deal. Call us now. We have system financing, and with incentives and extra add-ons available, the savings really add up. It's a great opportunity, our best offer of the season on a new high-efficiency system. Call Abels for your new air conditioning system now. These savings will end soon.
Thank you for watching AVC Sports. This game is brought to you by Doan Ford, patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, WB Green, West 40 Auto Sales, Southeastern Med, Abels, Valentine Insurance, AMG Vanadium, TK Auto, White Pillars Christmas House, Wayne Garage Door, Galaxy Pizza, JNS Tree Services, Stoney's RVs, 209 Tire, Guernsey County Children's Services, Brunner Land Company, and Dirtworks.